Goodness.
Hey, Isaac.
What up?
Everyone say hi to Isaac.
Hi, Isaac.
There you go.
I hope you're happy, Isaac, for what you've done to this discussion. Man, we had a good one going.
We're talking retractable roofs.
That's exactly right.
I threw in an Isaac real quick.
Look at the weather out here. We could have, and we were all caught unawares because the forecast was
Really?
hazy.
Correct.
I haven't got an email, Tim. When do we head down to Jupiter?
Doug?
Next week?
Ask Isaac. He seems to have all the answers.
Nice, Doug.
Cut. 3.
Ox on, plowboy. Ox on, plowsy. Ox! YouTube, can't hear. Well, you're not going to hear any minute cuts with this ox sitch. Ox on, stoners. Can't hear the cuts. Ox. Ox, ox, ox. Ha-ha. Sound is off again. Can't hear anything. Ox. So this is a show, huh? Nothing like sound of dead air. I can't hear it. It'd be cool to actually hear the cuts. Ox. Not on YouTube, mullet. 1 GD job. Turn on the ox. Yo. Ox, plowboy.
Is it
Turn it up. Can't hear anything. We can't hear. Ox, you nitwit. Quite a little production. Sound of dead air and Jackson the Hat Man juggling. Jackson the Hat Man.
Tim and Hatman.
For the love of Christ. LOL. Wow. What the hell? Ox. Ox. Can't hear it. Ox. Boo. Ox. Ox. Ox.
Oh, there's a cut.
It's like we're in a library. That's from Don Hoffman. That's Jackson's favorite guy.
Cut. I'll leave it at the 4.
Joan Wandersey's birthday was last week. And
Who the hell is Joan
she
Wandersey?
DM'd me.
Remember an old Warson?
She DM'd me and said thank you for the birthday wish. She goes, I hear I'm still pretty popular on the show. I said, yeah. She doesn't listen, but other people do. And
Jane Wandersey is
Gail Vulva.
Joan Wandersey.
She's pretty popular on this show.
You talk about her. I talk about her quite a bit.
Who is she?
She was my first grade school girlfriend.
Joan Wandersey.
I've never heard of this girl.
I haven't heard that name either. I remember.
We've talked about her a lot.
Gail Volva, sure.
I've heard Gail.
Well, you don't even have the name right. It's Hulva.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gail Volva is very popular on
Laura
the show, but nobody even knows
Yeah, I
Hulva,
remember
which is her real name.
Laura Patterson.
And who did Gail Volva date in high school?
Butch Wax.
John Hamm.
Chris Bird.
Chris Bird. Who?
Why are we playing trivia with people we don't know?
Well, I've mentioned Chris Bird many times, who's now living in the U.S. Virgin
You
Islands.
think we remembered Chris Bird because you mentioned...
Rest in peace, I ride for Craig Bickle, or I don't ride at all.
Cut. 5.
Jesus, I hear typing. Ox, ox, figure it out. 2 weeks in a row of this.
Yeah.
Ox, stoned ox boy, figure it out. You have 1 GD job. 1 GD job. 1 GD job. Well done, fellas. 1 GD job. 1 GD job.
This is 45 seconds of the
I just hear giggles and breathing. How is this so difficult? 1 GD job. 1 GD job.
Oh, God.
Look,
Do better. It's not on. My God.
Ox.
do
Oh, for the
better.
love of Pete. Do your job.
Do
like
better.
Can't believe he was ever furloughed.
Cut. 6.
So therefore, you are uncuckable.
I'm uncuckable if there's nobody in that bed that I'm related to as far as girlfriend, wife, whatever. I can't be cucked.
You can be cucked.
No,
if you're
not
going
if,
out with a girl and somebody steals them in mid-date, you've been cucked, my friend.
I just said I'm not dating
Straight up
anybody in
cucked.
that bed. If it's just 3 women that are part of Beer Cat's story, I'm not dating any of them. I'm not married to any of them. If they let me watch them tribbing and they start making fun of me, I'm not getting cucked because I don't know any of them.
Yeah, she's going. If they're looking at you saying, "This is why we don't need guys. You guys are all small and don't know what you're doing, dude." You're getting cut.
No, that's
That
just
hurts.
That's just being mean. It's not. I'm not being.
But that's a cuck.
That's what cucking's all
no.
about.
Lousy, I hate that hat.
Oh,
Am I cucking you?
Yes. Oh, gosh.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
if
Plowsy.
you're pleasuring another gentleman while you're telling me
I'm
that
not
you hate
pleasuring
my hat.
anybody. I'm just sitting there.
But no, I know. But in this situation that we're talking about, there are 2 girls scissoring, making fun of you, and why they don't need a guy. That's
You've been cucked, my friend.
But I'm not related to any of them. I'm not dating any of them. I'm not married. I'm not a significant other of any any
I think you're getting cucked.
You are Elliot Ness and the Cuckles.
Sean
I don't
Connery.
believe
Good or
it's a
bad?
Good.
And those were the cuts of the week.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out Rosalia'sCantina.com or visit the downtown or De Pere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan of TMA, and we are thrilled to have another new sponsor on board the show. A couple of guys I have gotten to know. Longo Biggs, Injury Law, Doug Biggs, and C.D. Longo here with me. And C.D., one of the things that I want our audience to know is this. When people get injured in an accident, they don't necessarily know what to do, and that's where you guys come into play.
Yeah, Tim, it can be a very confusing process. If you get hurt in a car accident or injured some other way, people do not know what to do. They don't even know how to start a claim. We're going to take the hassle out of your hands and make the entire process very easy. Injury cases are potentially worth a lot of money. We're going to make sure you get every dollar you deserve. We're very excited to be part of the TMA family. We're hoping to have a lot of fun with this. If you or a loved one do get injured, please remember us at Longo Biggs Injury Law. You can visit our website at longobiggs.com, and that is Biggs with 2 G's.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, the Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You're listening to the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Welcome to the Michelob Ultra Studios. It's the Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour. Timothy Michael McKernan, Douglas Sullivan, Vaughn, the Plowhawk, Kenneth Iggy Strode, Action Jackson with you. And you are welcome to get involved in the EDA-approved text inbox, 314-881-TMA5. Call in 636-9004. TMA email in for our design, air, heating, and cooling email of the day. Doug, this is it. Here we go.
All right, here we go. This is the big show. Here we are, and here we go. With your Redbirds right back in the thick of things.
Real nice.
Only 3 games behind the 4th-place Pirates. Don't count this club out.
Are they eliminated mathematically yet?
No. If we can just get hot, we can take 4th place.
Doug and you and I thought that Wainwright would get to 200.
Yeah?
One away. Thank God that a bullpen last night. Thought for sure they're going to blow that lead.
You really were watching it?
No, just box scores.
Oh.
I saw they were up 3-2 when Wainwright went out of the game. In the 6th, I said, well, there's no way he wins this game.
I watched and then listened to it. Just because I want to see him get it. It's not a magical number, really, 200 wins. It hasn't been in the past, but he's been such a great Cardinal and such a great guy. I'd really like to see him get it. End on a little higher note than what we've seen this year. So I was really pulling for him.
Yeah, so was I.
Via the box score.
Yeah.
Box score.
It'd be tough to do a cap tip
I don't have Bailey's.
with an 8 ERA and your team finished
7.95.
14 games
And he's
out.
4-11.
It'd be just a tough to how they navigate that. If and
Well,
when he does get it.
Yeah, you figure he might get 2 more starts? Possibly 3? How many games left? 16?
I think something like that. And there's that Red series at home the last 3 games. I would assume he's starting one of those.
They'll get him. If he doesn't have it, they'll get him one, I think.
Yeah.
Does Palacios now become like the 8th outfielder vying for a spot next
He
year?
had 2 bombs. I don't know. I see Mike Trout might be traded, so maybe you go after him.
Yeah. Wait for that.
Well, it was just a darn nice victory.
I haven't watched a game in forever.
Either have I, except for when we went to the TMA day at the ballpark.
Couldn't help. It was right in front of you.
I tried not to watch. I went and
Call
mingled.
that lead too?
I went and mingled with the listeners that were sitting above us.
For me, it's just a force of habit. It's something I've been doing since I was about 7 or 8 years old. And when the Cardinals come on, I just turn it on. There isn't anything else really on TV that's got my attention, so I watch that.
I'm watching a series. I don't know if you guys have watched this. Tim, maybe. It's called Power. It was on Stars.
I did not see it.
It was it started in 2014, I think, and it was 5 seasons. But then they have like 3 offshoots of it. Power 4, Power 3. It's kind of like The Wire. It's a lot of drug dealer who turns into a nightclub owner and all kinds of killings. And
Oh, it sounds violent.
that's pretty good.
Oh, you need for a good show right there.
So I started watching that. I'm on season 4.
Did you get a lot of that knocked out?
Yeah, I'm
halfway through season 4.
Okay.
Oh, 50 Cent's in it.
I don't think I've ever. Yeah, 50 Cent is like executive producer. He's a pretty good actor, actually. I've never seen him in anything. He's a pretty good actor. But now, this is something you've never heard come out of my mouth.
Oh no! Here we go.
There's too much sex and too much nudity.
Too much.
Yeah, it's just it comes out of nowhere and then it goes on forever. Like get undressed to have sex, and it's like
that's how they're trying to hook you in,
it's
and
like
they've done it. They've hooked you in with that.
No, it's not they're too much. It's like 5 or 6 minutes long. I don't need to see all that. Just go kill somebody.
Oh gosh.
So
just go kill somebody.
So
there's the American audience right there.
A lot of sex and nudity, but good show.
All right.
There's my recommendation for the day. If you're tired of watching Cardinal baseball.
Because there's lots of violence?
Well, if you like The Wire, it's kind of like a drug show.
I didn't see The Wire.
Oh, Doug, you like it.
Oh. Okay.
All right, that's enough. Talk too much already.
No, you haven't. You have not. You've given us a fine recommendation on a show with too much sex and too much violence.
KG in O-Town said minus 450. There's nudity in that show. And I guess he hit. He said, never mind, book's closed. So who pays those bets, Doug, when people make the predictions on what the... Cletus does.
Well, it's on Stars. I don't think there's a show that's ever been on Stars with no nudity.
Really?
Yeah.
We need to look into that.
All right. Well, I guess that's enough Cardinal talk. Time to unleash the creep. Is that what they call this?
Unleash the creep.
Unleash the
Do you miss the Cardinal talk?
That's from Brian Henshin. He is covering the Colts, Doug, and Anthony Richardson, questionable going into week 2, but I think he'll play. Tough loss against the Jaguars. Fun to watch Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne. It's all Clemson Tigers all the time.
Don't you think that a segment that could be sponsorable is Unleash the Creep?
Yeah.
You can tell us what you've been watching and
a lot of sponsors.
what was in there.
Imagine the potential open that could bring, just bring a 30-second stinger.
Yeah, I think it's got some legs.
Let's just see Barb going to a sponsor. We have a new segment, Unleash the Creep.
Guys, inside sources are telling me that Tiesto is going to be at the Live Chicago event, and by inside sources, I mean my token CBC friend. That's from Mr. Licks.
Who's going to be there?
Tiesto.
Who's that?
He just keeps a CBC friend so he sounds more relatable?
Is that what that's about?
I guess.
Who's Tiesto?
He's a DJ.
Oh,
I'm with Iggy.
Even CBC's up to around 20 grand a year, isn't it? I think it is.
I haven't had a chance to look into it. I don't know if
I saw in my CDS,
come across my desk or not.
In my CDS, I think it's up to like $33,000 a year now.
ROI.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to stick to dogs.
You're officially not going to breed? And by that I mean children?
Things are so expensive now. I don't know. And public schools are becoming worse and worse.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Have a good day. They're coming in now. You want to just say that on Balloon Party?
I guess depends on where you're talking to Lindbergh, Kirkwoods. Obviously, there are, outliers there. But yeah, I'll stick to dogs for now.
I think that Clayton's always ranked the #1 public school in the area.
Taking religion out of it, like being Catholic.
Oh, you hear Orton Watkins in there?
Heard him, yeah, I heard him chirping.
Taking Catholic out of it, birth control out of it. Be back in the day.
Taking Catholic and birth control.
Well, for the most part, back in the day, I mean, people were having 7, 8 kids.
That was common.
But do you think people have less kids nowadays only because it costs too much to raise a kid and send them to school?
1,000,000%. Me and Madison would have 3 kids right now if it wasn't, the money factor. We love kids.
I think
but we don't want to do it to ourselves.
Yeah.
Put ourselves in a hole.
Madison has offered, with you, to babysit my 2 sons. Do you recall that conversation?
Yeah. Well, we're great with kids. Like, I'm a kid at heart, so I feel like they gravitate toward me. Madison has nannied for, God, forever, so she knows what she's doing.
Jameson, you want to hit this pen?
No, we're responsible.
Actually, might not be a bad play.
But yeah, so I think me and Madison would definitely have at least 1 by now if it wasn't financially. But also she went through school, started a new job, so maybe not even. But
I would rather send my kid to the St. Louis City Justice Center than pay $20,000 to send them to CBC. That's from the 314. Doug, that St. Louis City Justice Center is trending.
Well, I think the price of raising a kid is definitely a factor. But also people tend to wait longer now. They tend to get established in their careers. They don't start their family till a little later than they used to, so that's also a factor. But I can't imagine having a house with 5 or 6 kids coming up on college and wondering what you're going to do at that point.
Oh yeah, you're just.
We talked about this before. You didn't do the 529 thing. I didn't know what a 529 was till the month my first son was born. Honestly, I mean, I've talked about being financially illiterate, hence the Mark Hanna live read 314-889-0503 or go online at evergreenstl.com. Doug, he's a friend of the Feather.
Yeah.
He's a friend of yours. He's a friend of Jackson's. He's a friend of the Dais.
I'm sure he is.
And he's online at evergreenstl.com. And I don't know. I mean, Plowhawk, are you familiar? Because you don't have a child. And you're in the sweet spot of breeding.
No.
You know what a 529 is?
I would say I do not.
Okay. So
You should probably comment for somebody.
who doesn't have,
Yeah,
who don't have children.
absolutely.
But you just paid it as you went. Is
I
that
just
correct?
paid the cash.
But I don't know if a 529 was around when, like, John was born. I don't know.
It was a little late in the game for me, you know.
Okay.
That's where you save money specifically for education.
Right.
You get some tax breaks on
Correct.
it. Yeah.
And so I've been doing that, ever since August of 2017, but had no idea what it was in July of 2017.
Yeah, by the time your youngest gets to Mizzou, it'll be $50,000 a year probably.
I don't know. There's got to be a burst, right? At that point, I mean,
I don't know. There doesn't seem to be. We've been saying
15
that for
years from
20
now.
years.
I'm telling you, I share that sentiment, Doug. I cannot figure it out.
I told you that I spent more money to send my kids to Kirkwood Baptist preschool than my parents spent to send me to the University of Missouri.
Could you repeat that again, sir?
I spent more money to send toddlers to Kirkwood Baptist preschool than my parents spent to put me through 2 years at the University of Missouri.
Wow.
And 2 at Merrimack also, which was, a wash because of the
I know that parents take care of their kids. That's your job, to take care of your kids, raise your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really the parents' job to say, just say, look, you want to go to college, you're paying for it. We can't afford it. We're not.
Well, many have to do that, yeah.
yeah. I'm in one of those, and my parent gave me the option, and I took it.
If you can
I would say
do
I
it.
would have rather not gone to journalism school, but like, look at where I'm at. I'm cool with it. I enjoyed my college experience, but yeah.
Yeah, say, hey, me and your mom love you, but, we've been saving up to retire comfortably all of our lives. We're not going to throw away $300,000 to send you kids to school and screw up our retirement. So if you want to go, pay for it. If not,
Yeah, there's some that do that.
I'd word it better in the conversation.
well,
Yeah. Have a little more finesse than that.
Yeah, listen, loser, you're sitting yourself. We're retiring.
Warson Woods Wacko says, my daughter has the max academic scholarship at the University of Missouri, still costs me $12,000 a year.
Yeah.
I gather that's the room and board and the tuition's taken care of. I'm doing the calculus. Am I correct, Doug? You think? Is that right? You've sent a...
Yeah, my youngest got
Greg
out,
Vaughn.
got out like 5 years ago, I guess it's been, and it was $25,000. Room and board, tuition, everything.
Oh, all in, 25.
All in was about $25,000 for 1 year. And he got there as like a sophomore because of the grades that he'd had at St. Louis U High. We were thinking, he'll get out in 3 years. Nope. He milked it for every last semester he could.
I did the same
And as his second semester, senior year, he took like 4 hours.
what I did.
Even 4 or 5 hours is all he took, so he could party the whole year. What it cost me? $25 large.
But, like, maybe it's a good thing that people aren't having a bunch of kids too. You know?
My other daughter has cost me $350,000 between high school and college. It's the Warson Woods Wacko.
Yeah, I can see it.
That's amazing, man. I don't think I've made that much money in my career.
I just don't know what do people do for a living?
Yeah, that's the big
People
thing.
are saying they pay $800-900 a week for their 23-month-old and their
Doug, we need to have a conversation about the top
hell?
line. Because the top line then changes the game. You know, one can say, well, I would never pay that. Well, I understand, but if you have millions of dollars,
I did,
then that changes the game. Yeah. So when those conversations are had, you know, if somebody's sitting there and they make a lot of money or they have a lot of money, Mr. Lick says, don't you have to just score a 25 on your ACT to get the max academic scholarship at Mizzou? So Mr. Lick, Doug, he's taking a shot at your alma mater, and I'm almost a graduate. I don't know if it's going to happen, though.
And we were very serious.
Oh, we're journalism
Very,
scholars.
very serious scholars.
And I was a 2-term Rush chairman, so that's still in my record.
I'd lay a bet that Licks went to Parkway Central and Merrimack.
So he's a Colt, and then he went to Merrimack?
Yeah.
The Warrior, but that was politically incorrect. He's been changed to
Working
Magic.
for Uber.
It's the Merrimack Magic?
Yeah.
Is it really? Well, you sound proud of that as a Hall of Famer.
Couldn't be the Warriors anymore. It was too violent.
Good for you guys.
I think St. Louis University is now up to over $60,000 a year. St. Louis U.
I honestly don't know how people do it.
Washington was like 70, 75.
Hey, Tim, real talk? Pepperdine is $100K a year. My wife let professors run anal trains on her instead of paying that much, though. Got an anal scholarship? That was real talk?
Thing.
That's from the recovering alcoholic. Are those out there?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Scott's wrinkled ballsack, but not his wife, says, kids aren't cheap. The last Costco trip was $9 bills.
Really?
We've set up accounts for each of the kids for education purposes to get them off on the right foot. I paid for my own education, and they will too, Doug. That's Scott's wrinkled ballsack.
I don't know how a kid can pay for his own education now. If you're going to take a part-time job somewhere and work, 20 hours a week while you're going to college and making $15 an hour, it doesn't add up. You'll never make anywhere close to enough.
It's called a student loan.
It infuriates me that people talk about, people your age, and I'm not just calling you out, but certain people will say, I work part-time. You can't. You can do that for books. You can do, you just can't possibly work a part-time job, take a full 18 to 20 hours of school, and expect that money to translate to having very little to no student loans coming in. You just won't be able to do it. You're talking $4 or $5 grand a month.
Right. That's when your parents are working full-time and they can't afford it.
Yeah, with room and board, books, and food and everything, you're talking a few grand is what you're going to have to make, and then shovel all of that in, not keep any for you. That ain't the game anymore, man. Student loans are predatory, but there's no other choice for about 80% of Americans.
I would like to give a text of the day right here to Junior the Juice Man. Says, I wish someone would have told me, quote, you don't have to go to college. I just did it because it's what's expected. It set me back 10 years in debt. My career has nothing to do with my major. That's from Junior the Juice Man. And I'm not saying, and I say this, I don't say I say it often, but I know I've said it on the show, and I've certainly said it on my podcast. I feel like college, similar to buying a home, and I'm not saying both are wrong. I think it's a case-by-case basis. For a home, I think it's the current circumstances and the circumstances of the moment, because it certainly is a way to build wealth and equity. But with that said, I think that became part of something that's the American dream. It's a symbol of accomplishment, and it can be a great financial thing. Don't get me wrong, but I think a lot of people in their 20s or early 30s are finding it right now to be a non-starter financially. In other words, it became dogma, and I think going to college became dogma. I think learning a trade has more value for many people than others. Just going to college, just to either say you're going to college or that's what you're supposed to do with no plan, I don't think is necessarily as needed as I think is perceived. And certainly if you're pursuing certain professions, of course it's needed, and in school beyond an undergrad. But I feel like that's something that I don't know if I'm not saying it's a status symbol thing, although I think in some categories it is similar to paying $20,000 for an education you could get in your school district, but you want to say your kid goes to a private school. But I think that's the same thing with college. Again, it's not for everybody. That's what I'm trying to say.
Doug can speak to this too, because we're about the same age. It was kind of like a status symbol. Like, if you wanted a good job, you had to go to college and get a degree. But I had a friend of mine that his dad owned a plumbing company.
Oh, yeah, that was Chris Bird.
Bob Laughlin.
Bob Laughlin.
Laughlin Plumbing. And it was like 3 generations. And he knew what he was going to do. He was going to get into it. And he learned it all from his father. He still went to college for 4 years because that's what you had to do. I got to get a college degree. And then he went into his dad's plumbing business, which he didn't need college for.
Well, there is something to be said about attaining the highest level of education you can. Education in general, I think, is a great thing. And I think the more you're subjected to it and the longer you stay in and learn, that is a great thing. What makes it ridiculous is the outrageous cost of it.
That's correct. But that's part of the discussion.
Yeah.
You can't isolate one and not have the other.
Yeah. Well, there should be a way. It's just ludicrous what it costs. And it goes up every year.
Right,
it goes up.
right.
Skyrockets.
Aren't there some countries where you don't have to pay for college?
Probably.
Plowboy, you need to report income on a K-1, not a W-2. In licks, your 5 years at Dayton with your other lame-ass pretty boy prep school friends has done nothing for you except teach you how to beg for money from your father-in-law monthly.
Oh.
You sucked then, you suck today, and you'll suck tomorrow. See you Friday when you mow the grass at Algonquin.
Gosh.
That's what he does?
I wouldn't mind mowing
the
grass.
super?
Yeah, I could see myself sitting on a lawnmower, mowing all day with earbuds in, just listening to the radio. I could do that.
If you own the company, yeah.
Iggy said Lachlan Plumbing like it's IBM or something. That's from Nate in Tallahassee, and he's excited about these Seminoles.
Somebody asked me what it was. Tim asked me what it was. I said Lachlan.
Well, I thought it was Chris Bird. I just was firing a bullet.
I said Lachlan.
I know a guy who I think had it figured out with college. He said he'd pay his kids 90%, but they had to pay 10% of it.
Oh, so they had some skin in the game.
Yes, exactly, so that they didn't blow off classes. If they did, it was costing them money.
I kind of like that play.
I did too. And
that was Chris Bird.
No, that was Bob Cyphers. Remember Bob Cyphers at Channel 4?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that was a good plan.
He was ILL, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Make them pay 10% so that they don't just blow it all off. Have some appreciation.
My oldest is almost done with his carpenter apprenticeship. He will be debt-free and making more than his mother, who has been a teacher for 26 years. That's from Coxie.
Yeah, these texts really make me hate what I did. I love where I'm at, but yeah, I wish I would have never went to college.
But there are also people that went to college and got degrees that are paying them hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
We just did the wrong degree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Most jobs, you need a degree. If you're talking about stockbroker, doctor, lawyer, you have to go
engineers.
to college for that.
On the flip side, though, if I didn't go to college, I would be living in Canton, Illinois. Like, I wouldn't have experienced anything that I've experienced. I'd be commuting to Peoria 5 or 6 days a week.
You wouldn't have experienced this glamour.
Wouldn't have met you guys, wouldn't have met
Exposure.
Madison. I don't care about the exposure. I need to lessen my brand, honestly.
What about the glamour, though?
You're going to
But the
reduce your brand. Your brand is brand reduction.
Yeah, so I mean, I love. I can't say I regret it because I got a loving girlfriend and all my friends here. But
Breaking news. I worked and paid my way through college to get an education. I'll be damned if either one of my kids end up in this field. That's from the Lipstick Lass. And the reason why that's breaking news, Doug, is that now lets us know she has offspring, which then lends itself to the theory that Jackson had that she was indeed a married woman, which then lends itself to the reasoning Jackson did not approach her at our post-game cocktail party at Ballpark Village following TMA Day at the ballpark. Now, of course, she could be
divorced.
Exactly right. But it's the first piece of real information we have here, Jackson. Your thoughts?
The wedding ring on her finger at the game also was a tell.
It's a hint.
Sometimes that's a hint.
Yeah. Maybe it's
But
just
then at
wearing that
Napoli,
to
those
throw
things can
people
just
off.
go away.
Yeah.
It's just a matter
Could
of
be fake. Just something she wanted to wear to keep the creeps away at the ballpark.
Unleash the creep.
So when they're doing something like that to keep the creeps away, what you do is approach them.
Well, you're not a creep.
Right, but
It's not for you. It's for me. So she's a teacher, too? Did we get that out of that text?
You are correct, sir.
Oh.
I feel bad for teachers. I mean, they work their ass off, and they're so underpaid.
Well, there's some good sides to it. I mean, I know in the district I am, Lindbergh and Kirkwood, a lot of those teachers are making $80,000, $90,000 a year. They're working 9 months a year. They can retire at 50. They got that 80 law of 80 thing where they can retire.
Require at what age?
Usually around 50.
Really?
And then get like 80% of their pay or something.
Really?
And they take second jobs. Yeah, the pension is fantastic.
Doug, why don't
for
we go be
teachers.
teachers? We can teach journalism.
If you get an advanced degree and you become a principal or something, you're making 150 or so. Those aren't the worst jobs in the world.
No, if you
I don't
go
doubt
in.
they work hard. I don't doubt that. But there's a lot of jobs where you also work a hell of a lot and don't get that kind of retirement and don't get that kind of 3 months off a year. Not to mention Christmas break and spring break and Thanksgiving break and everything else.
I know a teacher that has to work in the off season. She doesn't make enough money, so when it's summer break, she's off for 2.5, 3 months.
Yeah.
She's got a job.
A ton of
teachers do that.
A lot of the private school teachers don't make a whole lot of money. It's seen as a calling. Maybe their kids can go to school there, the Catholic grade schools or something.
Too many people go to college just for the college experience that they feel entitled to. They get a useless degree that has no job prospects, and then they bitch about the student loans for the next 2 decades. That's from Greg Oden's Stovepipe,
Stop it.
and he went to Ohio State.
There's also a lot of people that would tell you the 4 years they spent in college were the most enjoyable of their entire lives. And that's something to be valued also.
And we can't dismiss naive 17-year-old kids looking at all their other friends going to college. It just, to say that, you're needing to pick the right field at 17 years old, like, you don't know. Like, at the time, you just want to go to college and want to experience that. Like, there's not really many 17-year-olds that have an absolute game plan on their life. And to bash them now, 10 years later, saying, oh, you picked the wrong degree. Well, it's like, well, I was 18. You know, like, I can't even buy a drink at a bar, but I'm supposed to get $60,000 in debt and also pick the perfect career for myself that I know is going to pay money in the next 15 to 30 years. Like, that's annoying as hell when you bash people. I already know I picked a career that didn't have a lot of money. I knew that going in. But, I mean, sometimes you just don't know.
You were in it for the glamour and the glamour alone.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, if you're serious about college and people that go there to be serious, not just party, I would think at 18 you know what you want to be when you get out of college. You know what you want to do for a living. So you
At 18?
I would think so.
You know what you want to do for a living at age 18?
Not from a town of
I
8
did.
to 10,000 people, though. When you're from St. Louis, there are options you didn't know about.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people go to college. They have no clue what they even want to major in.
I agree with that.
Really?
Yeah.
Absolutely. All the sound stories, that's one of the questions I will usually ask about when did you start having an idea of what you wanted to do. And I would say about 60% say they didn't really know until maybe even after they graduated college and things just kind of would fall into place.
I don't know. I found that odd.
I'd say 75% of my friends switched majors at one point.
Herb
Yeah.
didn't, though. He always knew what he wanted to do, and
Herb
that was a
switched around.
coxman.
Nope, Herb switched around.
And you didn't switch either. You were also in it for the glamour.
He was a golf major.
Yeah, I did switch, actually. I changed not only majors, but schools. So it's a lot of people have no clue what they want to do, or they think they do, and it changes quickly.
Yeah. Josh, Bob, Bill, Doug shares a building with Keisha Gray in Tampa and listens to this program. It says too many people who shouldn't go to college went because of this badgering from everyone, from their parents to advisors, etc. That's from Josh, Bob, Bill.
Yeah.
I share Josh, Bob, Bill's opinion as well. You can give your thoughts. EDF Group text inbox is how you can text in. 314-881-TMA5. Call in. Be a friend of the feather. 636-9004 TMA. Email in for our design, air, heating, and cooling email today. The morning after at InsideSTL.com. Send them in, Jack. Send them in, Jack. And try and track down this JV golf coach as we approach the midway point of the design, air, heating, and cooling month of September for the email of the day standings. JV golf coach has 4 wins. There's Shooter McGavin, Buck Swope, and if I had to make a long shot play, my long shot play would be on the Tinky Monster, who has 1 win, and I just feel like when the Tinky Monster shows up, he tends to win. I just don't know if the Tinky Monster will show up 4 more times.
He means business.
Track him down. Design Air is online at designairservice.com, the official HVAC provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show. Jackson, how about a QFTA today?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Well, we'll do it. And I got an erotic story yesterday, Doug.
Did you? From whom? Tinky Monster?
I hope not, because I have a feeling that would involve a father-in-law.
Oh.
Let's see. Erotic-ish story. I haven't read it yet. It's long. I didn't include any names, but obviously keep my email address out of the read. Well, I wouldn't read an email address. Let's see. About 7 or 8 of us rolled back there in cabs. We're covered in beer and sloppy junk. I remember sloppy drunk. I remember going to bed around 4 a.m. and my roommate and some of the group are watching Anchorman. The 2 best friends knock on my door and say they're too drunk to go home. They lived in the Central West End. And they asked if they could just crash in my room on the floor. I said sure and threw them 2 pillows and a blanket.
Huh.
These girls are both... Oh, Doug.
What?
These girls are both very attractive, by the way.
Here come the lies. I can believe the watching Anchorman at 4 in the morning, but when the girls come in, it's a lie.
And my mind is definitely going places. 15 minutes or so later, the blonde says she can't sleep on the floor and climbs up in the bed. I don't think much of it, as she never showed any sexual interest in me. But then she starts nudging my foot. Is nudging my foot the move?
Probably so, yeah.
Now we're making out, and I can tell it's going to move quickly by how aggressive she's being, but I'm trying to keep quiet so not to wake her friend. Also, thank God for whiskey blank, because I would have messed the sheets in seconds.
We can't get too detailed, but we can say he prefers to be treated like a dog.
Oh, what
and
else?
also a toilet.
I can't wait to read the rest of it. QFTA recorded right here in these very studios following today's TMA and Balloon Punch. John Hewlett has a sound story, does he not? Am I correct? Is my nurse
11 o'clock?
11 o'clock? All right. Well, we will do it down the hallway. Either way, Design Air is online at designairservice.com. It's Design Air, heating and cooling online at designairservice.com. Munganast is the sponsor of our 7 o'clock hour. Jamie Burkhardt, Clayton Patterson, Peter Munganast. Doug, say something great about Munganast because I know you could save 30 minutes worth of great things.
I could. It's just once you go there, you feel like you've got a car guy. You don't worry about it anymore.
That is the truth.
If there's a problem with your car, you go, well, I'll just go to Munganast and everything will be fine. Or if you need a new car, want a great deal on an Acura, new or used, or a Toyota. They also own Alton Toyota. They've got all those great lines. They've got great people that work there. It just kind of takes the stress out of the car thing. And it can be a stressful thing. When something goes wrong or you're looking for a car, you're dreading the hassle of shopping for a new car and haggling. They take all that out. They're just such great people. Right now they've got me driving a Toyota Highlander, Tim. Fabulous
Wow,
SUV.
Bill.
Fabulous SUV. It's a perfect size.
You know what I saw on the road the other day that I'd love to get?
What?
Toyota Crown.
What is that?
I've never heard of that.
God, it's just sweet.
What is it?
I'm going to look it up.
It's, I don't know
sedan, SUV?
Yeah, it's a sedan. It's not an SUV. It's just really sleek looking.
Doug, it's sleek.
Really sharp looking. It was a nice red one.
Little red Corvette.
Yes, it-
Prince, 80. I'm going to say 83, even though I think it's 83 or 84, but
I don't know the years.
it wouldn't be 82, though. So I'm actually, Jackson, I'm going to say 84, because that gets me 85 and 83.
82.
No!
Oh.
No! I don't think that's right!
You got the Crown up?
I do. It is sleek, Bill. Nice, sleek vehicle.
83. I'm sorry.
Oh, you son of...
There's multiple things that come out.
Yeah, where do you go for this?
Well, it first pops up like Google aggregates it and just gives you an answer, but that's just from
It does say released 1982.
Right,
Yeah,
but then you go on Wikipedia and it says released February 9th, 1983.
Doug, which one are we going with?
Well, it's because singles can get released before an album, and so I think technically both could be correct.
Doug, what was Little Red Corvette about?
Was it about a Corvette that was red?
No.
Oh. Well, that's always been my favorite car, the red Corvette.
Those
Like
are
the
right.
late 50s, early 60s.
You got to hang around Francis Pocket around 5 at night.
Do they have some of those?
A lot of guys going through it with family law. Released in 1982 on the 1991 album Little Red Corvette.
Yeah.
I feel like I am
in the 91.
So that was the single. The album was 1999.
Yeah, it says the 1991 album. So I was like, I don't remember that album. I think we do is all right. I'm off the site for calling it the 1991. Anyway, I think it's about a lady's parts.
Yeah,
Oh.
too. Now, if you look at Nights in White Satin, you wouldn't know what to guess on Nights in White Satin because I think it was
Nights in White Satin.
The single was released like 10 years before it was actually put on the Days of Future Past album.
Is this all part of the Munganast live read?
Yep. Yeah. Online at stlouisacura.com
Okay.
and altontoyota.com. Or there's a secret number, 314-252-0029. And what were you saying? Jamie's favorite song is Nights in White Satin.
Yes.
Moody Blues.
He loves good music.
Yeah.
And
good cars.
I interviewed John Lodge
And good
once.
service.
Yeah. I interviewed John Lodge once, and I didn't know this because I just know Nights in White Satin from the Days of Future Past album. He said, I actually released that, I want to say like 8 years before that, and it got no airplay. And then when I did the album, I put it back on the album, and it just blew up. So I want to say it was released once, and 7 years later released on the album.
Huh. Okay.
Some knowledge for you.
Yeah.
Eric Clapton was in town last night. I didn't get to go.
Why?
Couldn't get tickets.
Where was he?
Enterprise. And I heard from two people that went that said he's 78 years old and sounds like he's 30.
All right.
Really?
Still has the voice, still can play the guitar. It's 78.
There's a lot of those guys still doing that.
I wanted to go. He's only playing 6 shows on this tour in St. Louis is one of them. But it was so popular. I think this is the first time ever that couldn't get staff tickets. Weren't available.
Sold out, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good that he can still sell out Enterprise Center at age 78. Because that's how many tickets? 13, 14,000?
Closer to 17, 18, I think.
Well, they don't do the whole building. You know, the last third of it or so is stage.
Yeah. So probably 14,000.
Yeah.
So they put on a good show from what I hear.
Yeah.
Doug, there it is, Eric.
He's probably still paying off college debt, too, at 78.
Right.
Now, he was one of those guys that when concerts were coming back after COVID, and they were opening up buildings and bands were touring again, he wouldn't play any venue that required a COVID shot to get in the building.
Oh, good for him.
Just a little tidbit.
It was a nice tidbit to wrap up the Mung and S live read.
St. Louis Acura.com, Alton.com, sponsor of our 7 o'clock hour here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Text in 314-881-TMA5. That's the EDF Group text inbox and email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Shocking that a guy who drives around with his own glossy photos can't snag a free ticket to Clapton. That's from the 215. Where is the 215?
Well, I don't know.
I don't drive around with them. I think Jesse has them all. If I need some, I go to Jesse and say I need a couple photos.
Philly for 215.
Oh, is that right?
I don't
We're starting to get popular in Philly.
Yeah. Iggy, I don't think you have the warehouse space available to handle the volume.
No, I can't keep them in my house. It'd be cluttered all over the place.
It's got to be done here.
Stacks of them.
And the fan mail letters you get, they come in giant boxes, don't they?
I don't get any fan mail. Of course, I don't give everybody my address, so.
Well, they could
just
find
email.
the address here at Hubbard.
I feel like the days of fan mail are behind us.
Yeah.
You
Now
just-
it's hate
you just-
emails.
Hate emails and social media DMs. And,
Like, why would you ever need to
God.
send a letter to a P.O. box and go through that
You got to
hassle?
check it for anthrax if it's sent to one of us, for sure.
You can just do it over Instagram.
You know, like musicians back in the day, they would have P.O. box number. You could send their fan mail there, and a lot of times they'd send them. And still, some old-time celebrities will do that, you know. They'll send, like, Ed Asner.
Asner.
Just pick a guy out of the... He'll get signed stuff. Now, J.D. Drew used to do it all the time. He'd sit in front of his locker, read his Bible, and then he would just answer his fan mail and just sign pictures. And, you know, a lot of guys, if you put a self-addressed stamped envelope in it, they'll sign something and send it back to you.
Ed Asner died 2 years ago.
Yeah.
No, I'm just picking an old guy.
So the email is, and the fan mail is slowed.
Born in Kansas City, Missouri.
Big Royals fan.
Yeah, he was a good actor.
Friends of the Feather, if you are interested in TMA merch, Plowhawk has got this signature hoodie selling like hotcakes, too.
So comfy in this little chilly morning.
Yeah. I forgot my TMA merch today. Jackson's wearing Run TMA, I think. Am I right? Did I say what I saw?
Yeah, I got a new piece of merch underneath it. T-shirt.
Oh, what do you got? Come in here and show the boys.
Powder blue action. Here, I'll come in.
Ooh, bad boys. You make me feel so good. Is that Miami Sound Machine or was that Gloria Estefan?
Sound Machine, I believe.
She was part of it, wasn't she?
She was.
Yeah, then she went solo with her husband.
What was your favorite Gloria Estefan song? Don't Want to Lose You Now? Is that 89? Is that 89?
I always want to start out with a vroom, vroom.
Oh, I like that.
That's a Refurbicipian. Ooh, look at that.
There it is right there.
Look at that. Is that powder blue? That is powder blue. St. Louis, the morning after. Look at that. That's a sharp look. Tip of the
That
cap
actually is
design.
sharp.
That is nice.
I like that color.
These are available for you. The new one today is kind of a Michelob Ultra logo for TMA. That is available for you at tmastlshop.com, along with Plowsies, the one that you can see on the YouTube. Everything is 10% off the entire site. A lot of doggy stuff I see is getting purchased up. People on board with those doggies. You can get these shirts and hoodies. You can get them in T-shirts, of course, and they will be shipped quick, fast, in a hurry. Mike Flanagan doesn't mess around. TMASTLshop.com. You don't have to enter a promo code. You just go check out, and then 10% is subtracted. It's all there for you at TMASTLshop.com. We have an app contest going on this week. Open up your TMA mobile app and enter the keyword BREWS to win a 4-pack of tickets to Blues and Brews. It's Friday, September 22nd at the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. Get fired up for the blues season at this outdoor street party featuring live music from country music star Chris Lane and local blues musician Marquise Knox. Tickets are on sale now for Blues and Brews, presented by Bud Light, 92.3 and 101 ESPN. That's on the app contest, and enter the promo code BREWS.
BREWS, not BRUISE.
In case anybody was going to enter that.
I'm sure there were. And they're going to email you, Tim, it's not working, man.
BREWS. BREWS. Doug, don't enter one referencing
We're talking about beer.
Correct. That's the 22nd as the blues season is getting underway. AB Studios, Michelob Ultra Studios, 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbohydrates, and the sponsor of our upcoming TMA Hit and Giggle, brought to you by Michelob Ultra, benefiting the Megan Meyer Foundation. It's Friday, October 6th. At Family Golf and Learning Center, your $55 ticket will include 9 holes, beer from Michelob Ultra, and lunch or dinner, depending on your tee time. Tee times are at 10 a.m. and at 3 p.m. It is the Michelob Ultra TMA Hit and Giggle on Friday, October 6th at Family Golf. And I just plan on gambling all day long in that short game here. That's all I plan on doing. It's all I plan on doing, Bill. Let's see.
Do you enjoy the fact that you can say a word like bruise and it sounds the same, but spelled differently and means two entirely different things?
Is that a homophone? Is that a homophone?
I think so.
Is that a homonym?
I'm sure there's some people who are new to English and see that and say, that doesn't make any sense.
Oh, that would be terrible to learn English.
Bruise and bruise?
Yeah.
That would be a homophone.
Or here is
a
another
bruise
one?
is a bruise is a real thing on your arm or your leg. I had a bruise.
Well, I understand that.
Bruise is just some slang somebody made up about alcohol.
Yeah, but people use the word, though.
Well, they can't help it. Bruise was here first before they came up with bruise.
Well, I'm not saying anyone's at fault. I'm just saying it's just a fun little thing with our language.
That is fun. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Close and close.
You know, here,
spelled differently,
here, you know. Dear.
Dear and dear, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
New and new is the
I'm starting to get confused myself. And this is my native tongue.
No and no.
Yep.
We've thrown out several
Let's just keep
examples.
throwing stuff out for another 15 minutes.
I don't mind it. Yeah. Well,
I guess it's going to stop then.
okay.
No.
I think we're out.
Oh, we set a record, too, for our golf tournament yesterday.
What?
Or Monday. Thank you to everybody who came out. 50,000 we made.
Nice.
Sweet action.
Yeah, golf tournaments are hard to make money because of all the money you got to pay for the golf tournament and the golf course. And a lot of these golf courses won't let you bring in, even get lunch and dinner donated. They won't let you do. They got to pay a plate fee.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so we had a good day.
Congratulations.
Good.
Nice.
Very nice.
It was great weather, too, on Monday.
Yeah, it's funny, though. I see, because we're a small foundation. God, I see some of these golf tournaments that we raised $800,000. God almighty.
How do they do that? With great prizes? And
Yeah, you get
people
celebrities
bidding
involved.
ridiculous?
You get,
Well, I think they
you know,
charge like $300 per person to play.
which is
Some-
value.
Yeah, some like $1,500 to play, and your goodie bag's a golf bag and a dozen Pro V1s, and you know.
Well, why don't you try that approach?
No, those are big organizations like when Bob Costas and Danny McLaughlin do their. I mean, they got big spenders out. They got people that are spending, you know, auction item. Oh, I'm going to bid $7,000 on that bat. You know, the big spenders. We don't have a lot of big spenders, and we don't do an auction, so.
Where are the big spenders?
Well, we don't.
How do you get them?
We just don't gouge people.
Oh.
But it is amazing to see some of these foundations, like Costas Cancer Research. They do a tournament, raise $1 million, and
Just from one tournament?
yeah, well, they have like fundraisers where Costas will speak, and they have an auction and things. They'll raise like $2 million.
Well, you do whatever you can.
Yeah, I think it's fabulous. There's a lot of giving people in this city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Including those who came to your event.
Yes,
All right.
people love to give.
Isn't
I
it?
tried to be nice today at 7-Eleven, and I couldn't do it. I
What do
told
you
Plaza
mean you
story
tried to be
outside.
nice at 7-Eleven?
Well, I felt bad because I really could not understand the guy. I'd asked him like 3 times. I'm sorry, I don't know what you're saying. And I just got 2 Gatorades. They're 2 for $5. So it's going to be like $5.40, something like that. Well, I gave him a 10. And he started saying something. I said, no, I don't. No, 10. And he gave me $14 and change back.
He thought you gave him a 20.
And I tried to give it back to him. And he, no, cheat me? What? No, you gave me too much. No, right change. Go. See ya. Try to be nice.
So you made money with these Gatorades?
Yes, I tried to give it back, and he didn't know what I was saying. I didn't know what he was saying.
Is it possible you did give him a 20 but thought you gave him a 10?
No.
Came in good?
I haven't had a 20 in my wallet.
Vivian Ajour.
I haven't had a 20 in my wallet in years.
Emotional.
Really? You don't have a $20 bill?
I haven't had a 20 in my wallet in years. No, I know it was a 10.
Okay.
But anyway, I try to give it back and
Nice little fun with change talk.
try to be nice. And that's my trials and tribulations of 7-Eleven every morning.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes the virtue signaling monologue. Thanks. That's from the 480.
What?
Is that what it's called? A virtue signaling monologue?
I don't know.
What is that?
Doug, what is a virtue signaling monologue?
I guess you were trying to tell us that you were virtuous and wanted to return the change you didn't have coming back.
Well, I did.
Yeah.
I pat myself on the back. I think most people would, if they got too much money, they give it back.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing anything different than most people would do. But
I was at the
he
drive-thru.
didn't understand what I was saying. So I said, all right, thank you.
I was at the
You're going to
drive-thru
be
at Bank
short
of-
forwarding some change.
What the hell are we listening to? It's from Chester Drawers.
Well, if you don't understand what I'm saying, why
This
don't
story is a lie. That's from Angel of the Morning After. Delmar Gardens alert. That's from the 636. I thought we were with the Gatesworth.
Gatesworth.
Yeah, Gatesworth. I just try to tell.
They don't have exclusivity.
I just try to tell a nice little story.
Yeah, it was a nice story. I was at the drive-thru at Bank of America a few years ago, and the guy gave me like $250 too much back. I said, I can't take this. You're gonna get fired, and I'm gonna get arrested. If you take back too much, or if they accidentally put too much into your account, you can get in trouble for that if you don't return
If you
it.
recognize it, oh, okay, it's their fault. No, it's yours too. If you took it.
Yeah.
Was that a virtue story on your part?
Wasn't there a weather lady in St. Louis that got a whole bunch of money put in her account and she didn't turn it in? Got in trouble?
I don't know.
I think that happened a few years ago. If the bank makes a huge mistake in your favor and you
Really?
don't tell them about it, you can get in trouble for that.
There's a Family Guy episode where Peter started collecting unemployment, and he got an unemployment check for like $800,000 and deposited it and built a moat around his house, bought a boat.
Yeah, you can't. You'll get in
Boats and
trouble for
boats.
that.
I'd like to parlay this story not happening at the 7-Eleven with the nudity and the power bet I made, please. That's from KG, and he is in O-Town.
Well, it did happen, and I'm sure Swope will probably go to that 7-Eleven on Dorset
Get some
or
digging,
on Bennington
Swope.
and ask
Yeah.
somebody, did you give too much change to a guy today? I'm trying to dig into this.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. It's on Bennington, the 7-Eleven on Bennington.
Oh, right there.
Go ahead. Go talk to the guy.
Yeah.
Probably
right there
won't know
where
what
you
he
live.
said, but talk to him.
Please, someone else talk. It's 314. Doug, it was Glenn Zimmerman. Glenn Zimmerman's a weatherman at Channel 2.
I
isn't
don't
it?
know that it was him. I thought it was long before Glenn Zimmerman. No, I wouldn't put that on Glenn Zimmerman. Somebody else, long time ago it happened.
Recovering alcoholic from Belleville and Webster Groves is active, and he poses this question. Hey, Tim, off toppy here. What is the topic, though?
Getting change, right?
It'd hard to be
Correct,
off
Shane?
topic. We really don't have one.
Yeah.
Please, God, tell us we have the audio of that 90-year-old senator reading a transcript of the EDF group text inbox out loud. That's from the recovering alcoholic. Well, we do. Doug, this is Senator Kennedy from
Louisiana.
the great state of Louisiana. They have a head football coach who grinds on recruits.
Right.
And here is an excerpt.
Are we talking drink?
No, not Drinkwitz. Senator John Kennedy.
Do I have Senator John Kennedy?
I just put it in there.
Okay.
Supposedly he was.
Is he part of the Kennedy family?
No, that's the other one.
All boys aren't blue. And I will quote from it. I put some lube on and got him on his knees.
Oh,
Doug, what is going on
And I
at the hearing?
began to slide into him from behind. I pulled out of him and kissed him while he masturbated.
Sedona meal?
He asked me to turn over while he slipped a condom on himself.
Oh,
This was my ass, and I was struggling to imagine someone inside me.
oh.
Isn't that what
He got
Hoffman
on
would let
top
through?
and slowly inserted himself into me. It was the worst pain I think I have ever felt in my life. Eventually, I felt a mix of pleasure with the pain. Close quote. All boys aren't blue.
Doug, this comes from a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing where Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana read from a sexually graphic children's book to drive home growing calls from parents to have age-appropriate literature in schools and libraries. That's a children's book, and it's called All Boys Aren't Blue.
And that's in school libraries.
And
It
he
can't be.
grilled
Oh,
witnesses
yeah.
who have pushed state legislation initiatives to block parents from having a say in what their child can access. So he read a number of these while then asking witnesses about the content. Doug, that was from the book All Boys Aren't Blue.
Why would that be in a children's book in a school?
Well, some are saying that they're trying to groom children.
Children is a strong word. Young adult is kind of what that book is. It's not meant for 8-year-olds.
Well, at any age, that's inappropriate for a school. Come on. Why would you need that in a school?
What age range is young adult, Jackson?
I'd say middle to high school, so like 13 on, 13 plus.
Yeah, that's totally inappropriate.
There's a lot of literature going back with similar language. There's a lot
like what?
There's tons of books with sex scenes for young kids.
Like
for
what?
Middle schoolers to read. There's a ton of it.
Give me an example.
Oh, boy. I mean, let me think. I mean, I don't have things like off the top of my head. I just know that there is books with sex scenes in there. I'm not like trying to defend a ton of books here. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just saying, looking at it from a critical standpoint, this isn't the first book to have a sex scene for a middle schooler to read.
I never saw one growing up. Never.
How many boys are going to go read a book with gay sex in it?
Well, why do you even have that in school? Aren't you supposed to be learning things?
Doesn't need to be in a school if it's got that. I don't know what the book's about, but I don't know what All Boys Aren't Blue. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I would imagine it's a metaphor for all boys aren't straight.
Is that what you'd want your own grade school and middle schoolers reading?
Again, I'll revert back. I'm glad I have dogs.
Yeah.
Pale one, if you think that book is okay, there is no hope. 100% that Licks wrote All Boys Aren't Blue. That's from Lawson Woods Wacko.
Listen, I'm not like saying like it absolutely is okay, but I'm also saying that there's books with straight sex that would not be highlighted like this. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'd like to see an example of that because I never saw one in my school. Maybe there is one. I don't know. There probably is now because it seems like anything goes.
A lot of Shakespeare stuff that's taught very early has a ton of sex.
How early are you getting Shakespeare?
I learned we were doing Shakespeare plays in classes when I was like 9 or 10 years old.
With graphic sexual scenes?
No, but I'm saying that there's an author there who has written stuff that we often teach there's a lot of sexual stuff in there.
Well, there's a difference there. You know, if there's a sex scene in Romeo and Juliet or something like that, it's not graphic. It's not. He inserted from behind after putting on lube.
No.
You're not going to find that in Shakespeare.
No.
You should.
And if he wrote anything anywhere close to that graphic, I don't believe he would be acting that out in a play in grade school or middle school.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And I'm not over here like defending that and what you want your kid to read is your business and it's none of mine. But I'm just pointing out. I'm not defending. I'm pointing out that there's other sides of this coin. That's all I want to examine.
Well, if it's cringeworthy to read in the United States Congress, then it probably shouldn't be in schools. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, but I mean, you could read a lot of things in a certain candor, and it's going to sound poor. It's going to sound weird.
Well, it's hard not to make that sound
right.
graphic.
Agreed. Yeah, but I don't know if that's the author's intent was to be read in that context.
Nor should it be read in schools.
Looks like you read a book a day. Keeps the doctor away.
I can. You know, there's a time and place for everything. In schools, you know, books are for learning. I don't know. A kid's going to walk in 12, 13. Yeah, I like to take out Happy Hooker Goes to Hollywood.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not learning anything there, so it makes no sense to be in a school.
Happy Hooker.
Yeah,
it'd be the most popular checked out book, I'm sure.
Yeah, can I
it
check
doesn't
out
make
that?
it appropriate.
Cover to cover, Doug.
Can I check out that book with the gay sex the senator was talking about?
Yeah.
No, I agree. I mean, parents should sit down with their kids and what's appropriate for an age to read. But those books have no business being in a school because it's not teaching anything.
That's one of the knocks against the current education system in our country is that countries like Japan and South Korea and Switzerland and Germany, they're learning engineering and science and math, and our kids are learning gender studies. I don't have to be a boy if I don't want to.
I think they're trying to pass a law in California that if your parents try to interfere with a person wanting to transgender, they can take the kid away from the parents.
Right.
Yeah.
It's absolutely the craziest thing in the world. Suddenly, a lot of the teachers in schools think they're more in charge of your kids than the parents. It's just lunacy.
And again, I'm not defending, like, I feel like I'm talking and no one's like, I am not defending this thing or another. I am just pointing out that it would be false to, like, say, oh, this is, like, the first, like, time we've heard sex for young adults, not children in elementary school. I'm pointing out that throughout literature and all of American history, there's been sex in books.
I don't know if there's been sex like that.
Maybe not this graphic. And again,
in schools.
I'm not saying it's like cool for kids to read that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, like, let's not say, like, this is the first time that this has happened.
No, I think that was the whole point of the conversation with the clip, is that doesn't need to be in a school. I mean, yeah, there's certain books that, if you want to read Shakespeare and there's some sex scenes in there, they talk about, and he nuzzled his neck and caressed her buttocks. And there's a story to it, but we're talking about this book with that kind of graphic language. That has no business. I don't even know.
And just because he's a great writer, if he wrote one book that's not appropriate, it doesn't mean that inappropriate book needs to be in the schools.
Or do that in sex education class.
I wouldn't do that anywhere in school.
All the listeners who just listened to this entire segment learned nothing.
Why would that be an important thing to have in any school? Anywhere. It isn't. It's just a way to get the pornography out there. It has no importance in education. It has none.
No, that's why you snuck your dad's Playboys into school to show all your friends. They didn't have it in school.
I'm on your side, Jackson. I understand what you're saying. Doug, that's from Sally Land.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, sex has been a big part, like, whether we know it or not, has been a big part of children's lives. And I think the point of this book is to show that, there doesn't need to be a stigma on if you are gay. And so, like, one side, like, if you're just outraged about this, like, then you have to say, like, I don't like sex in any types of books for my young children.
No, 7th grade health class, I watch a baby being born. We learned graphic sex, put on a condom on a banana.
In
Not
7th
kidding,
grade?
In 7th grade. We had health class. Like, we had 7th and 8th grade health classes for that reason. So I'm not defending anything. I'm just saying I knew about a pee-pee and all that stuff well before, I didn't need to read about it in graphic novels to understand what it was. And our school taught that young.
And Jackson, I'll go a step further, and I could be wrong. This is the way I feel. That it's up to your parents to tell you that it's okay to be gay. You don't need your teachers and books to tell you it's okay to be gay.
Yeah, I don't care that this is about gay sex, just that it's graphic sex.
Well,
I don't think there's any place for that in grade school and middle school.
Absolutely respect that. It's like I said, it's up to each parents how they want to raise their kid, what they want to show them at what certain age, and that's totally up to them.
But the parents are losing control if that's in the schools.
Well,
it's not up to the parents. It sounds like it's up to the teachers.
I guess I hear where you're coming from. Yeah, and I think this is why that book is being read in that context, is that they're trying to take something like that out of there.
Well, that's why the book shouldn't be in school. It's not up to the school, a book, or a teacher to say it's okay to be gay, Johnny. No, it's up to the parents to say there's nothing wrong with it. It's up to the parents to tell their kids it's okay to be you. I don't need to read in a book, especially that graphic. Hey, it's okay to be gay. I just read in a book that the guy had pain and pleasure, entered from behind, lube. Yeah, what does that teach you?
Is that really what we want to be teaching kids in grade school and middle school? Is that what's going to prepare you for a way to be an independent adult? I don't think so.
Look, I have no kids, but I just know the way I was raised. I didn't have any teachers raising me in school.
No. Yeah, I agree with that. The teachers don't raise you. The teacher's supposed to educate you, not raise you.
Well, that's a hell of
listening and learning.
Who wrote that book anyway? Can we get the author on?
I don't know.
I think it's George Johnson.
George
Is it really?
Johnson.
Johnny.
Brother of Johnny.
It would be a George Johnson.
Johnny Johnson.
How does that book even get into a school? How do you sell that to whoever decides what books are going into a school? How do you sell that to them? And someone says, yeah, we'd love to have that in our library. I mean, this is craziness.
I would like to know what school that was in. Or if maybe...
Because you want to check the book out.
No, maybe John Kennedy was making it up.
And I do think there's a difference between, like, a book being assigned reading and a book being available in the library.
I don't think it should be available. I don't think pornography should be available in a school library.
I also think there's a difference between a story of a young person's life and pornography.
Well, don't you think that was pornographic literature?
That was certainly very graphic, yes.
Yeah, so there's no point for that being in a school.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree.
I don't believe there's very many parents who send their kids to school hoping they're exposed to that kind of literature. There can't be very many.
No, and if you want to have your kid read that, then you go to a bookstore and buy it. You know, it's not in school. If your parents feel like that's something educational, okay, we're going to go to the bookstore and look out. You know, I'm sure a lot of new-time parents went to bookstores and got, how to teach your kid to poop and things like that. Now, if you want to teach your kid that, go get a book in a bookstore, not in school.
Yeah, public education is changing in a big way in this country. I'm not sure it's for the best.
Guys, this is the argument for private schools that you were having at the start of the show. You don't have to deal with this crap. It is sad that our public education system has become so politicized. That's from Gummy.
A lot of truth to that. A lot of truth. A lot more people are homeschooling their kids, or sending them to charter schools, private schools, if you can afford it.
And you know what? If a teacher would have read that book to her students, she'd have been fired and sued probably by the parents.
Probably, yeah. Sure. Yeah, you read it out loud, it's offensive to many. Yeah. And if you don't, you say, well, it's freedom of speech.
It's okay to have it in school, but the teacher's going to read an excerpt. Mom, Teacher Johnson read a...
Does everyone's last name have to be Johnson?
She read an excerpt today talking about two guys having sex. She'd probably be sued, fired, whatever.
Should be.
Yeah, she should be, but why is it in the school? If a teacher would read it, she'd be fired, but it's okay to have it in the school.
It shouldn't be. It's wrong, in my opinion, to have that in a school. At any school. What's the point?
I don't know. That's what we're arguing about.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Give your thoughts, as plenty are doing. 314-881-TMA5. Email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day, and you're welcome to call in anytime, 636-9004-TMA. It's Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Blues and Brews is happening Friday, September 22nd at the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. It's an outdoor street party celebrating another St. Louis blues season with live music from country star Chris Lane.
Girl, it's time to move on, scoot on over.
And local blues musician Marquise Knox. Plus appearances by blues players, alumni, food trucks, blues merch, giveaways, and more. Tickets are on sale now, but you could win a free 4-pack of tickets. Just check out the TMA app or go to TMASTL.com to find out how to win. Blues and Brews, Friday, September 22nd. Presented by Bud Light, 92.3 WIL, and 101 ESPN. And currently being talked about by the Morning After voice guy. Thank you. You're hearing TMA all day on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis, featuring the Ryan Kelly Morning After live from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then a full show replay from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., followed by the best of TMA from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., and another same-day replay starting at 10 p.m. Find the full schedule at TMASTL.com. Brought to you by Ryan Kelly at thehomeloanexpert.com, the most efficient mortgage process you'll ever experience.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lutman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at jefflutman.com, bringing people and properties together.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you, or fake you, or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2.
With the fall's cool weather upon us, we hope you'll let Lee May Concrete Block help you with all your landscaping projects. We have been a locally owned and operated manufacturer since 1947, priding ourselves on the quality of our products and the customer service we provide. Lee May Block offers a complete line of fireplaces, outdoor living kits, decorative retaining wall blocks, ready-mix concrete, masonry block, as well as concrete parking curbs and air conditioning slabs. Please come visit our showroom off South Broadway at 326 East Courtois or visit us online at leemayblock.com.
This is Doug Biggs from the Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm, and I want to talk to you about what happens when you get in a car accident. Hopefully, most of you never will be, but if you are, the first few days after an accident can be critical. Unfortunately, from the moment your case begins, the insurance company is going to be working against you trying to minimize their payout. You're probably going to get a call from an adjuster who seems nice, who seems worried about your well-being, but what they're actually trying to do is get a statement from you to use against you later. Insurance companies have specialized systems and thousands of workers who follow a playbook to pay you as little money as possible. At Longo Biggs Injury Law, we know the playbook and we can fight back. If you or a loved one is injured in an accident, visit our website or Google Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Okay.
Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at TMASTL.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
I'm Tim McKernan here with Action Jackson talking to you about Mark Hanna. TMA listeners have a lot to think through financially, whether it be saving up for their child's education or planning for their own retirement and everything in between.
Whether you're like me and just getting started with your financial planning or you're already retired, call Mark Hanna.
It all starts with a 15-minute phone call to discuss your needs and design the right strategy for you and your future.
Visit evergreenstl.com or give Mark a call at 314-889-0503 today. Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors and insurance and annuity products through Equitable Network, LLC.
All right, here we go. Here's something new, announcing the first ever TMA Hit and Giggle, brought to you by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Benefiting the Megan Meyer Foundation. Friday, October 6th at Family Golf and Learning Center. It's a 9-hole par 3 tournament full of threesomes. Oh, geez. And it's a walking course, so if you're a walrus, start getting in shape. Your $55 ticket includes 9 holes, beer from Mich Ultra, and lunch or dinner depending on your tee time. Plus shipping and putting contests for our degenerate gamblers. You'll also get to see Iggy's Long Drive Challenge. Brought to you by Souder Appraisal. Can he hit it 210, 220, maybe 223? Who knows? But it should be a fun day no matter what. The first ever TMA Hit and Giggle. Brought to you by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota. Better than ever for you, their customer. And Family Golf and Learning Center. They make St. Louis better at golf. Visit FamilyGolfOnline.com. Tickets are on sale now. Get all of the Hit and Giggle info now at TMASTL.com.
Butter me up, Daddy.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2.
Ryan Kelly, Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Plowhawk, Carnegie Strode walking in. Action Jackson with you on the program. Come on in and be a friend of the Feather. EDF Group text inbox 314-881-TMA5. An email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. You like what the Plowhawk's wearing? It's all available for you at TMASTLShop.com. All kinds of another new shirt and new hoodie up there at TMASTLShop.com today. Go get yours, and it's 10% off the entire site as we unveil new wares daily this week on TMASTLShop.com. John Hewlett is conducting a sound story in these studios at 11 o'clock. Yeah, you saw him?
Yeah, he's got to do a final or That thing where him and Close critique an album every week.
Doug, that thing where him and Close critique an album.
It's called...
It's a long title.
Come here, not critiquing albums.
Final Exam, I think it's called. Then he's got the sound story.
He's got a sound story at 11. I had one yesterday. And if you are interested in a sound story, it is a gift both for your parents or grandparents, but really for perhaps yourself or your children or grandchildren to always have your story, your parents' story, your grandparents' story, whether it be I do the interview or Doug does the interview. John Hewlett's in here at 11 o'clock. Randy Character was doing one on this past Monday. Go to mysoundstory.com and you can get yours and come into the Hubbard Studios, or can do it via Zoom. And now we are offering the ability to come to people's homes to do it as well. It's mysoundstory.com, available to book or to get a gift certificate, mysoundstory.com. Get involved on the program, 314-881-TMA5, 314-881-TMA5, and email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Doug, here is Adam Wainwright on his 199th victory last night.
Hit the lever, Plowsy.
It was a good one. It was a good one. It's been a long time coming, but tonight my stuff was better. Had better action on my pitches, and better mindset. Attacked better. It's a great team over there, so I'm glad we won, and it was a good win for our team too.
What did it mean to you to show that kind of emotion coming off the mound, to be able to display that?
Well, it's easier to display that when you're feeling a little bit better. Sometimes it's hard to fake it, and I've been faking it all year. Fake it till you make it, I guess. But tonight I felt a little bit better out there. I felt a little more confident with my stuff and attacked better. And like I said, that's an incredible team. That's a great team. So they're in first place for a reason. They've got 91 wins for a reason. Or however many they have. But you got to execute. We got we made some big plays, and the guys behind me came in and did a great job.
There it is.
Yeah, who could have thought the Baltimore Orioles would be almost 40 games over 500?
Oh, I guess you're not a loyal Balloon Party listener then, because Jackson and I were on the Orioles on opening day.
Were you?
Yeah, we actually were. I didn't expect this, though. I just was looking at win totals over or unders. And I also was on the Jets win total being under, but I didn't expect it to go this way. So,
but also the Orioles.
And I was also on the Missouri over of 6.5, and I'm glad I didn't send Jackson out to Circa with 10K.
Oh, I thought you did.
Yeah, he carried 10,000 in cash.
The Orioles are like the Astros, though. It's like you're bad enough, you get a lot of top picks, and those picks sometimes pay off. Gunnar Henderson, great, obviously. Adley Rutschman, and you got a pitcher as well. So, I mean, they're stacked, too. So you have Jackson Holiday there.
The Reds are kind of trying to get there.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah.
You see, Flaherty's really been bad with yours.
Yes, he has.
He's been bad. They don't know if
he
he's even going to be
his first start, he looked incredible. I watched his first start.
Yeah, he had one good start, and then he's been horrible since.
You see Wainwright, there's a video, he's like standing inside the clubhouse, entrance. Looked like Arenado gave him like kind of a little shade.
Oh, Doug, do we have to go over
this? What do you mean by that? What happened?
Look at all the players excited, dapping him up, hugging him. Wainwright almost had to force a hug on Arenado. No dap.
Really?
Yeah. I would assume Arenado's not being 14 games back and having a pitcher who has an 8 ERA celebrating 199 wins after making $17 million this year.
Well, they're still friends, you'd think.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I just looked weird. Like, it definitely looked like he was annoyed.
Let me take a look. I see the video, Doug. Doug, you want to go over it like the Zapruder from here?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's old Dak Hudson. Fun to see him.
Oh,
there's Ryan Helsley. Yep. There's old Zach Thompson. Here comes Mason Wynn. Where's Willie McGee? Tyler O'Neill.
You'll see him at the tail end there. Put a couple bats away is what he doing.
Miles Michaelis, really big reception from Miles Michaelis. Lucan Baker. Here comes Olin Arenado.
Oh, well, I don't know that I'd make anything out of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna respectfully disagree on that, Plow.
He just didn't look like he was that thrilled with it.
Well, he didn't celebrate like he'd won a World Series game or anything, but he was.
Reminded me a lot of drinking a cigar, though. Okay, I'm going to say it reminded me a lot like your team is absolutely bottom feeders. You, statistically, the last 21 starts are one of the worst pitchers in Major League Baseball history in terms of all the analytical metrics, stats that are in his starts, and you finally get one. It's like, I don't know. I'd love to see the cap tip after being dead last in the NL Central and walking out.
Well, it's been a rough year, and they finally had something to be a little bit happy about. I'm sure they feel worse about it than you do. And here's a happy moment they had to celebrate just for 5 minutes.
Maybe I'm naive, but like 199, is that a deal? Is it a big, like, did he pass
No, he wants to
somebody?
get to 200.
He wants to.
Well, everyone
exactly.
would like to see him do it.
That's my point. It's like
he's been one of the most beloved Cardinals of the last decade and a half.
I agree, but you're not. You can still have scrutiny. You can still be criticized for. I mean, makes $17 million a year. We talk about all the bad deals that have, around this team. That's probably the worst one.
Well,
and we don't talk about it all because of what he's done in the past. And I get it. I love Wainwright, but to say we can't criticize him at all because of what he's done in his career, I disagree with that completely.
What would have been?
I don't think anybody was saying that, Plowhawk.
Yeah. Well, it just felt like you can't talk bad about Adam Wainwright. And I certainly think he's a Hall of Famer for sure in the Cardinals, but 199 to, I just don't know if I understand what 200 means. I mean, does it get you in the Hall of Fame as opposed to 198? I don't think so.
Well, they weren't popping champagne corks. He was just standing there at the front of the
If there was champagne there,
room,
Doug, I would think
people.
they would have popped him. It seemed like.
I don't know.
It's just a milestone. It's like, Ozzie was getting in the Hall of Fame basically for defense, but he became a much better hitter later in his career. But it was a milestone when he got to 2,500 hits.
No, I'm not.
I'm
I'm
just
just
excited about that. I mean, it's not, a huge number. It's not 3,000, but, certain players have milestones, and winning 200 games in the major leagues sounds a lot better than 199.
And nobody wins 300 anymore, or probably will. I can't imagine anyone
No, they don't pitch enough.
will win 300 games again, the way the game's played now.
You know what I don't agree with, too? And I was thinking
no.
about this the other day. I don't like the walk-off celebration.
Why not?
Well, when a pitcher's in the bottom of the ninth, you're up 2-1, and he strikes out a guy. Did everybody come jumping on the pitcher and start tearing his jersey off when he strikes a guy? Why if a guy gets a base hit and they wins the game, they all run out and start grabbing him?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I think they feel like they're kind of expected to do that now on a walk-off hit.
Yeah, it's stupid. I want to see him start mauling the pitcher if he strikes the guy out, or ground ball to second base. That's the game.
Everybody pour out of the dugout every time you win a game?
Go start jumping on the first baseman. He caught the last out. Go jump on him. Congratulate him. What's the difference?
I don't know. It's just kind of become a thing.
Zach Greinke has 224 wins.
He's got one of them this year, doesn't he?
He's pitched a long time.
Yeah, it's just odd.
How about Scherzer? He got hurt last night.
214.
214?
Yeah, so he's got 10 less wins than Zach Greinke. This is weird to me.
And Scherzer and I guess Verlander have been the best pitchers of their
Verlander
era.
is the current active leader, 255.
Put Kershaw in that.
He'd be in there.
Kershaw,
Well, I know. I just didn't know if you would consider it the same era. Kershaw was around in 2009 when the Cardinals played the Dodgers, but he wasn't their one starter, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, if those three aren't going to come close to 300, who is? Those are three.
Bumgarner was in there, and that just flamed out quickly.
I don't think Cole will get there.
No, but those are three first ballot Hall of Famers for sure.
That just shows you what awards do for you, because if they all retired tomorrow, Scherzer,
Verlander,
and Kershaw, if they retired tomorrow, they'd all go in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And Wainwright has like 7 less wins, 8 less wins, and he's not even close.
Well, he doesn't have the three or four Cy Youngs either.
That's what I'm saying. Awards have a
He
lot to
missed
do
3
with
full seasons or 2 full seasons for sure.
Yeah,
Right.
he missed at least 2 seasons. If he'd had his normal 14 or 15 wins at that time, he'd be up around 220, 230 for victories. That's a big number.
I'm sorry to stir up. I just thought Arenado looked mad. Maybe I just was wrong.
I don't know why he'd be mad at his pitcher getting a win.
I don't think he looked mad. He didn't celebrate as much as Michaelis. I'm sure Michaelis is closer to Wainwright, being starting pitchers, spending off days together and everything. Talk pitching all day long. Maybe he's not the best friend, but he looked like he was
Well, he's not that
polite enough.
excitable of a guy. Go look at walk-offs. I'm sure he's not the guy in the back of the pile sticking a fist up somebody's butt.
Kyle Ocean, Skip Schumacher.
Yeah, that
such
was
a great
weird.
celebration.
We need to bring those back.
Yeah, both Arenado
I'm going.
Goldschmidt and Arenado are both rather low-key with everything. But it's hard to pin any of the blame on those two for what's happened.
No, they're trying.
Well, yeah, they're
hope.
trying. You know who's having a good year now? You look at his numbers. Is Contreras?
Yeah,
he's up to 262. He's got 20 home runs now.
It's exactly
A
what
little
the
late,
season we wanted, I would think, in terms of stats.
I would disagree, and if you dig into it, you will see how little he has played catcher, and that is my core issue with the signing.
He's hit, though.
I understand he's hit, but look how many starts he's had at catcher, and that's why that is going to be so problematic. So, I mean, you can already make a case it was problematic, but that's why my reasoning for not liking it from the outset was he wasn't going to be a catcher, and I never understood why the team was prioritizing catcher ahead of everything else from the get-go, like you could replace Yadier or Molina. So if he were doing that and he had started, let's say, 110 games of the 100, however many they've played at this point, what about 148, I would guess, ballpark, then that's one thing. But I think he's at around 85 starts at catcher. I could be off the mark on that.
He's had 306 at-bats as a catcher. I don't see how many games that he started as catcher. I don't know. It doesn't have that.
Yeah, you got to do the.
Is that half the games? Can't be half the games.
That'd be more than half.
I looked it up and I wrote a long post about it on the TMA fan page. He's at 93 games at catcher, 30 at DH. So he will probably finish at about 100 starts at catcher, I would say.
I just wonder if he'd done any better if they hadn't messed with his head there early in the year. What kind of impact that may have had.
And, he's 32 next year, and he'll continue to trend more towards a DH, and he is owed through 2027 minimum. And if they don't want to sign him for 2028, that's a $5 million buyout. So he is $18 million on the books next year. 18, 5, and then $5 million buyout when he's 36.
Just a real nice signing.
So yes, if he were catching every day, then that's...
Yeah.
Well, if he keeps hitting, maybe somebody will take him. You can trade him.
I think we've said this the last 3 off seasons, but I'm definitely excited and curious what they do this off season.
Yeah, because of what you said at the same thing. But you were right, and I was wrong when it came to a couple of these off seasons. Where I would think this year they absolutely have to, because this year they're coming off of being a last place or possibly 4th place team. But I don't know. I saw Bob Nightingale writing about the possibility of Matt Holliday being the Cardinal manager and the possibility that the Cardinals would move on from Ali Marmol. That really hasn't been discussed, and I'm not talking about Holliday. I'm talking about him being moved on from. I don't know if that's a direction they would go, but then, listen, Matt Holliday, maybe that would excite people, but you're going again with another guy who doesn't have major league managerial experience.
But what is it about the job Ali Marmol has done that makes you want to stick with him?
I'm not talking about that. My belief is the roster construction is reason number one why this season went with the way that it went. But with regards to Marmol, I just don't know if they would move on from him. Not because he shouldn't be moved on from him. I'm just talking whether or not it really happens.
No, he does exactly what Mosaic wants him to do. Listen to him and use sabermetrics in all your decisions. That's why they're going to keep hiring these. If they fire him, they're going to bring somebody else in that has no experience.
There haven't been a lot of managerial firings this year, have there? There haven't been very many, and there's been some teams that have horrendous years. Some teams that were expecting to have much better years than they had. Still, the managers haven't really been fired. Leads further credence to the thinking that the front offices are making all the decisions now.
Well, I think you need to go outside the organization. I love Matt Holliday, but he has a kid that's about to be a year away from the majors, another kid who may be a top 5 pick next year or 2 years from now. I think his priority should be with his family again, like he took the hitting coaching job and then decided against it. So I'd be worried about his want to and buy-in if he did get the manager position. You got to go outside the organization. Should have been Terry Francona before, or instead of Matheny. I think it just... You got to cut bait.
Well, Holliday's kids are one's already in AAA, and the other's going to be a senior in high school next year, right?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of managers that still have kids that are in school somewhere.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just saying that was a motivator for him not to take that. Well,
Yeah.
that was the
Well, we
reason.
think it
have
was,
no
maybe
idea
not.
what the actual reason was. But
Yeah.
if that's the case, I don't think he'd be a good manager because I don't know how much he'd want to do it.
I bet if he were offered the job, I bet he'd take it.
I love Matt Holliday, though. I think he'd do a great job.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see a Cardinal. I want to see somebody completely outside the organization. Only way out would really help.
If he can make his own kids into these fantastic hitters, to where one is the first pick overall in the draft and is in AAA as a 19-year-old kid, what could he do for major league hitters?
And his brother's supposed to be better.
Well, the brother's 6'4".
Yeah, the brother's supposed to be insane.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts are welcome. 314-881-TMA5, EDF Group text inbox. James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, the sponsor of Gabe DeArmond on this program every Monday and Friday on Balloon Party. It's 314-961-4800 to go online at carltoninsurance.net. That's James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, 314-961-4800, or go online at carltoninsurance.net. And you can read 325 five-star reviews about James Carlton and his staff's customer service. When you go and search Google reviews, 325 people raving about the same experience that I've had and the Plowhawks had, and that is first-class customer service. They make all the changes for you on the paperwork, and you don't have to worry about anything outside of now you are with the best, and the best in the business is James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. EDF, sponsor of our text inbox here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. EDF text inbox number is 314-881-TMA5, and you can text in anytime you would like. Do you want to support the EDF Group as a sponsor of TMA? It's real simple. Do you have a fire extinguisher where you work? The answer is yes, you certainly do. So please email the EDF Group at fire@theedfgroup.com so a technician can come out and explain to your team how the EDF Group can save your company money. Again, that email address is fire@theedfgroup.com. The EDF Group is hot and will prevent your facility from having hot fires. Experience the EDF Group difference. Learn more at the edfgroup.com. That's Engineered Design Facilities, now known as the EDF Group. You can sign up for the TMA Hit and Giggle, brought to you by Michelob Ultra, benefiting the Megan Meyer Foundation. It's Friday, October 6th at Family Golf and Learning Center. Your $55 ticket will include 9 holes, beer from Michelob Ultra, and lunch or dinner, depending on your tee time, 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. tee times available. Everybody's going out as a threesome. You can sign up your threesome or sign up as an individual and be paired with listeners. It's all taking place on Friday, October 6th at Family Golf and Learning Center, presented to you by Michelob Ultra and also by the wonderful people at Munganess St. Louis Acura and Family Golf and Learning Center. You've likely seen pineapple decor in your room at a beachside hotel, a friend's house.
This is a swinging segment we're about to get into?
What makes you assume that?
I don't know. Pineapple.
It's one of Jackson's links from our friends at Men's
Jackson.
Health.
Doggone it.
And it's about swinging if it's Men's Health.
My bad.
Or in restaurants.
All right, let's hear it.
Every once in a while, though, you might come across a pineapple flipped on its head. It could be on a sign hanging on someone's door on a cruise ship, a charm on someone's jewelry, or an actual pineapple in the front of a stranger's shopping cart. It turns out the upside-down pineapple has a specific.
Mm-hmm.
You're fine, Tim.
Is this new?
Good try.
Known this for years.
And sexy meaning in the world of non-monogamy. Since American colonists began importing pineapples from the Caribbean and South America in the 1700s.
Heaven's sakes.
This is the historical context.
Mm-hmm.
So the Pilgrims was swapping?
No.
The fruit became a lasting symbol of hospitality, welcoming, and friendship. Boat captains and ship workers trekking to and fro these countries would place one pineapple outside their door to symbolize their safe arrival home. That true?
Probably not.
He's even popular in Europe.
Who's popular in Europe?
Its symbolism was a bit different prior to the birth of America. Ah, yes, the United States of America, brother.
Mm-hmm.
The pineapple's first presentation in English literature dates back to 1629, when it was used as a symbol of temptation for Adam in the Garden of Eden in a book by John Parkinson. John Parkinson wrote the Bible?
Wait, I thought that was an
Oh,
apple.
wow.
Nobody told me that there was the pineapple.
That's the news out of this. You just got the author of the Bible.
And Adam and Eve were alive.
Johnny Parkinson. Is he available?
Adam
we
and
get
Eve
them on
were-
Balloon Party.
Adam and Eve were alive in the 1600s?
That's correct. That is correct. It's given, quote, an erotic, seductive association compared to the regular plain apple eaten by Eve in the original tale. Doug, that's according to the Smithsonian.
Can you get around to the swinging part? I mean, the historical stuff we don't really believe in.
I know more about JFK than I do about sports.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we know that.
Hospitality, friendship, eroticism, and seduction. Those are the 4 pillars.
Yeah, they're not the 4 pillars that Pags preached.
It's not clear whether the underground meaning of the upside-down pineapple stems from these connotations, but the similarities are striking. And no, we're not talking about the eating pineapple for better tasting semen rumor?
Oh. Oh.
Below, find out what exactly that upside-down pineapple flag on your neighbor's house might represent. Do people really see these? Just in general, I'm just asking you just in a... Do you really see these?
I've never
And then
seen
what is the goal? Like, oh, we can come in and have sex.
I was wearing my pineapple swim trunks in Vegas.
And you were approached.
No.
But it let people know that you were over there, but you could be over here.
Well, yeah, I was over here.
Women wanted to be like him, and guys wanted to be with him.
That's the bottom
Frank
line.
just
I
laid it
guess.
out for me. Exactly.
Have you ever tried laying a pineapple on its head? It doesn't stay.
Think about that.
Doug and I did. Doug was trying, like, begging me to do it in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm. And you walked in a crowded room holding a pineapple and got no action.
I remember we were watching the Chiefs and the Bengals.
When you're out in public, you don't really even think about pineapples, right? You either see someone and you're attracted to them or you're not, whether there's a pineapple involved or not.
Not to mention her hot body that looks hot in a bikini.
I mean, people could tell you all day long, we're swingers. Look at this pineapple. But if you're not attracted to it, it doesn't matter, does it?
An upside-down pineapple worn on clothing or jewelry pushed around in a shopping cart is a subtle signal
The shopping cart thing just makes me giggle.
that someone is a swinger or looking for a swinger party. The pineapple doesn't have to be upside down to carry that meaning, FYI. The story goes that when a pineapple is set by a front door or on someone's porch, it signifies that a swinger party is in session.
Come on.
That's a joke,
In
right?
session.
Wouldn't the locked door be just
Court is in
fine?
session.
I'm beginning to think this is all just something made up by some swingers.
You're just
You ever
beginning
go
to think that?
You ever go to a supermarket and you see an upside-down pineapple, and why would a lady go to the supermarket? I'm going to let everybody know I'm a swinger.
So are we talking this is conspiracy by Dole to sell more?
Could be Dole.
Could well
Could be
be.
Dole.
That's good thinking, right? That's now you're getting somewhere. Plus.
So are you supposed to talk to someone if you see an upside-down pineapple? Or
Why
does
do you
that
have
mean...
to let people know it's in session? I get like having it upright to like welcoming other parties, but like wouldn't the door lock and like the curtains close be enough sign that okay, we're in it now.
In session.
Yeah, you're late.
Now you're in session. Swinging is a form of non-monogamy wherein folks who are partnered enjoy having sex with other people and their partners. Swinging is often done between sets of couples. It's where the wife swap and keys in a bowl stereotypes come from. Are people actually using the pineapple symbol to meet other swingers? Absolutely they are.
They aren't.
Let's talk to a couple that uses it and just make them up.
On dating apps, especially those geared toward non-monogamous arrangements like Field. Doug, are you familiar with Field?
What is that?
F-E-E-L-D. That's a
What does that
dating
mean?
app.
Oh, it is?
People may use... Well, I mean, if they're on that dating app, then they're swinging. Am I correct?
Yeah, you don't need to have a pineapple to say they're swingers.
Because it's a non-monogamous dating app.
Yeah, this whole article makes no
But I
sense.
guess you can be non-monogamous and not swing. Right? Nurse? Am I
Yeah.
correct on that?
Yeah. It depends on...
Like you could just have one-on-one sex
Yeah.
outside of your relationship.
And that could be swinging too. I mean, it doesn't, I mean, the main thing is people say is couples. But if you're married and you're swingers and the husband gives you permission to go out with somebody else and do it, it's not monogamous, but you're still swingers.
Check out Swing Talk on TikTok
I'm
and
not
see for
going to.
yourself. Hashtag Swing Talk, Doug.
I'm not going to.
On cruise ships, guests will reportedly hang an upside-down pineapple on their door to signify their swinger status. That's reportedly. Yeah. I don't have the source.
Right.
It just says reportedly.
There's been a couple sources have sent that into the wire service.
Just put a sticker on the door that says swinger. It's pretty simple.
Now, this is where the article, I start to wonder about the legitimacy of it. I spoke with someone who identifies as a swinger.
Nope.
They shared with me that if there is a pineapple available, they will make it near them and upside down and it works.
It won't stay upside down. It'll fall over.
On their last trip to the grocery store in New York City, they went straight to the produce department, tossed a pineapple in the top of the cart, upside down, of course, and within about 10 minutes had someone approach them asking if they wanted details about a play party happening that evening in the neighborhood.
That's not true.
Doug, should I do that in De Pere today?
It'd be interesting to see if anything ever happened, wouldn't it? Because, again, if you saw someone that was attractive, you wouldn't look for the pineapple. You just see, oh, there's someone who's attractive. And if you saw a pineapple from someone who wasn't attractive, you wouldn't pay attention to it again.
But I think if you're attractive and you see the pineapple, and if that actually means swinging, you know they're down for sex.
I don't know.
If you just see a good-looking lady in a supermarket, you're not going to go up and talk to them.
Just because they have a pineapple in
But
their
if the
cart?
pineapple's upside down and you believe in this stuff, then you think it's easier to talk to because I know she's looking for something, so let's go chat.
Would it be just a pineapple, or are there other groceries in there, too, they have to sift through?
Well, good news. Here's the thing about symbols in general, especially when it comes to symbols in the sex-positive community. And, Doug, as you know, this is considered one of the most sex-positive shows on HD2. I think Balloon Party is one of the most sex-positive shows on HD1.
I don't think those guys have had sex in hundreds of years combined.
They are necessary for communication. Our culture is just starting to normalize all sexualities and relationship designs. These symbols have helped and continue to help bring people together when they can't be as open as they'd like. Doug, from the New York Post, here are your symbols of non-monogamy.
No.
A black ring on someone's right hand.
Really?
I never heard that one.
No. Even if there's a wedding ring on the other hand? If you got a black ring, that means...
Iggy, are you familiar with
If you're a swinger, it doesn't matter with the wedding ring, and you don't need symbols if they're too embarrassed to talk. You're a swinger. You can't be hard to talk to people if you're a swinger.
No, but how are you going to know without some sort of symbol? You can't talk to everybody.
Well, they're going to swingers parties. They're in swingers
Yeah, but what if you're at the grocer?
Well, who's looking for swingers at the grocery store?
And apparently all the pineapple
One
choppers.
could easily argue there are adults who like breasts more than babies.
So the black ring on the right hand is a sign?
Heads up.
What aisle is the crackers in? Have you seen any pineapples upside down? I'm looking.
Nice. Having garden, Doug, do you say pampas?
Yeah, pampas grass.
Outside your home.
Oh, God almighty.
See,
Wearing an anklet, toe ring, and thumb ring. Huh, toe rings are back.
Thumb ring.
Switching your wedding ring to the right hand. White landscaping rocks.
You're just making things up now.
I've got some white landscaping rocks. I'm no swinger.
Wouldn't you hate to be just an average, everyday, non-horny couple and just happen to like the decor of like pineapples and white rocks? You just have people every day knocking on your door like...
These poor people in Florida, I mean, they love planting. He's out there doing pampas grass and somebody comes up, hey, what are you guys doing tonight? Want to come to a party?
I've got a friend who's got a really nice house in Chesterfield. I mean, $1 million+ house in Chesterfield. Moved there 10, 15 years ago. And there was a huge block of pineapple built into the brick of the house.
Wow, they are
And he looked at that and said,
hell,
what in the hell
dude.
is that? I don't get it.
You're taking...
And I told him it was a swinger sign, and he was horrified and had it removed.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
You're taking out big pineapple.
I am.
And when does it go beyond a hobby and become like, I mean...
That was expensive to put that in the brickwork.
That's what I'm saying. They're all in.
You know, is it possible that some people consider pineapples to be cheery, sunny, tropical?
A Hawaiian flair?
Yes.
I get a lot of shades of that story we read years ago about the man who was inviting people, but they thought it was a woman, but they stayed anyways. Like, you might have a pineapple and find out, hey, I like swinging. Like, even if you're not into it originally.
It is a good fruit.
But not the pineapple, but the swinging. Like, you like to decorate your house with pineapples, not thinking anything, and then you have people coming left and right trying to swing.
Mr. Smith says, I've been telling you for years about the black ring on the right ring finger. Go to the source. It's from Mr. Smith.
We need Smitty to call in. We've got questions.
What if you like just a nice black onyx ring? You like my ring?
Bill?
And you just get groped.
Any kind of black ring works?
I don't know.
Doug, we got somebody who starts off a text with real talk, so you like that, right?
Yeah, that must mean he's bringing the heat.
Hey, guys, real talk. I was at the Costco in South County walking around with an upside-down pineapple when I was approached by a large, hairy man wearing cowboy boots.
No.
Next thing I knew, I was up on the diaper-changing station in the family
That's
bathroom.
enough of this story. That's not real talk.
Covering alcoholic?
No, it's Big Tuft.
Oh.
My mother-in-law owns a log cabin B&B, bed and breakfast in Herman. And these Hoosier swingers drew an upside-down pineapple in the broom closet where you're supposed to leave a nice note or sign their name. I then found a pair of used panties in one of the beds when cleaning it. That's from Buzz. I thought Buzz was a delivery driver for Uber Eats or something, and now he cleans bed and breakfast.
Well, and he's
finds
hooking
panties.
up with the doctor in Chicago. The same guy, right?
He's a Renaissance man.
Believe anything he says anymore.
Hey, boys, now that you were speaking of it, I was doing some grocery shopping for the family, and a pineapple was on the list. So, like the good son I am, I went and grabbed one and threw it in the cart. And as I was passing through an aisle, some old guy who said he was part of some radio show that he occasionally walks in and out of asked me if he could bang my girlfriend because I must have been into it. WTF. That's from the humble leader of the second generation, Lil Beer Cats.
Huh.
Well, I doubt you shop at all, and I doubt you're getting a pineapple, and none of this is true.
He doesn't shop at all.
You're as bad as your dad when it comes to these texts.
I actually put a jar of browned gefilte fish loaf into my pink boy sock, and it lets all of my uncles-in-law know that I am down to douse some jellyfish bites. Hashtag sting me, Doug. That's from Deke Dotem.
Oh, Dotem.
Segment title's going to be called hashtag Sting Me.
A sure giveaway for a quick casual sex is a wine-stained girdle. That's from a new
I don't know.
That's a good call.
Just hanging on the door. Whoop, he's up for action.
Doug, I'm learning things, and it sounds like you have some rocks that might signal Friends of the Feather could drop
They're
by.
just on the side yard there by the air conditioner. You know, the hose is right there. I didn't think anything of it. I swear to you. Now I got to remove them? God. What are you hitting over there, Iggy?
Ant.
You got ants in the studio?
It was on my thumb. There was
Doug, they're trying to smoke us out of here.
I guess.
This is the wildlife part.
Yeah, this is...
First it was the urinating.
My buddy and his wife use Field down here in Austin. Lots of action, big stuff. That's from DraftKings Cal.
As a swinger site?
It's an app.
So DraftKings Cal is
Just
swinger?
a dating app?
I don't know. Is it swingers?
From that, I had never heard of the app, but per that article, it says that it's a non-monogamous app. Let's see, especially those geared toward non-monogamous arrangements like Field.
Huh.
I always just associate non-monogamy with swinging. Unless you're a single person.
Well, then you can't be a swinger, right?
No.
So that's why you say you're not a swinger.
No, unless you're female. I think females can be swingers because they're invited to all kinds of things. Single guys are frowned upon.
Imagine that.
Not everybody's like me.
Think about that.
I don't want to believe that.
You know, I'm not a creep when it comes to that. When I'm at Hito, I'm not a swinger. I don't go up to couple. I did that one couple I did. I really wanted to be with this
It
girl.
seems like you're a single swinger.
But they come up to me and ask me. I never go up to couples.
Yeah, you don't
Hey,
want
looking
the
for-
sexual
looking for a
attention that
single
you're
guy?
getting. Yeah.
No, I'm very polite.
KG No-Town just sent in his profile picture, and it's him with a pineapple upside down. Doug, look at that. There he is, and he's got those pursed lips like you
Right.
see outside of Brio.
That got Iggy upset. Now, why the deep sigh?
It sounded
on
like
that?
a crest. No, have visual.
Sounded like a crest.
Like you could feel it come out of his body there.
I mean, the best thing that's done on the show in a long time. We said, "Oh, he's crestfallen and palsy. He's cresting."
I talked to doctors for my work, and this one was talking about the provocative parties he attends with his wife. And sure enough, the next time I visited, he had a pineapple on his door. Because of this stupid show, it stopped me dead in my tracks. Doug, that's from Scooter.
Well, it is kind of an odd fruit to decorate with.
But now we're learning about it goes back to the Bible, which was written in 1629 by, who was that, Johnny Johnson?
John Patterson, we said?
Yep.
He got a big lawsuit against God.
He doesn't get the credit he deserves. He sold a jillion books.
Yes.
What are you people doing
Johnny
down there?
Parkinson. Who wants to be Johnny Parkinson? Author of the Bible, 1629.
I don't know that any of that is accurate.
God's not happy. What's going on down there? I wrote this way before that. I never had pineapples in this book.
It's like a Ned and Johnny
Creeps.
combo.
I just picture a guy with a deep voice.
Yes.
It would be kind of off-putting. You get up there and you meet him. Hi, how are you? Welcome to heaven.
I bet you he's jacked to the gill, bro. probably just
Really?
lifting 40-pound boulders every morning before he goes out and saves people.
I don't know why everyone's being so subtle when a good chunk of the male listeners to this show have adult sex education classes after their Holy Name Society meetings. They go behind the dumpster and play Close Your Eyes and suck from the garden hose. Doug, that's from Carlos Spicy Winner, and you said he's going into the Hall of Fame.
I think he could be a texting, an emailer, Hall of Fame. Sure.
I mean, swingers can start anything they want. One of them came up with the pineapple idea, caught on. Now everybody's, I mean, they could have said, yes, when we get to our resorts or wherever we go to let people know we're swingers, we hang 2 coconuts off the thing like boobs, and they know we're swingers. They could have made up anything. It's just that the pineapple thing caught on.
Iggy, are you interested in going to a grocery store and putting a pineapple upside down in your cart?
I did it once, and I did an Instagram Live walking through the grocery store with an upside-down pineapple. And
Any action? Any
nothing
action?
happened, no.
Nothing.
Somebody just sent in a picture here, Doug. You want to see this? I saw this at the airport. It says, and it's got a picture of an upside-down pineapple on the T-shirt. If you understand, then you are my people.
Oh.
Groovy.
That's not so subtle.
Yeah, why don't you just put it as, I'm a swinger, are you?
And I'm sure a lot of people understand and they say, oh, no thanks.
Yeah, and you got to be attractive. I mean, not necessarily. There's a lot of non-attractive swingers that meet a lot of non-attractive swingers.
So there's a lot of ugly swingers.
People are horny.
And they hook up together, and the good-looking ones hook up together.
Yeah. It tends to be the way it works.
It's very rarely do you
that's
see. You're not going to see
humanity trait.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to see a 280-pound, 60-year-old man and a 58-year-old woman with some 25-year-old goddesses. No, they're hooking up with their own.
Always depends on the bankroll, though.
Yeah. Hook up with your own.
Yeah, not when it comes to swinging. Money isn't an object.
What about whores?
No, I don't think there's any whore swingers.
Excuse me?
Did you say whore?
Horse, white horse.
Oh, wait, I thought you said whore.
I'm dating a chick that has a pineapple tattoo, and she's trying to convince me she's not a swinger. I don't believe her. Doug, that's from the Flat Avenue Boy.
Well, maybe she's just a fan of the Hawaiian Islands.
Some people just like pineapples. Maybe, again, it could just symbolize, sunshine, tropics, happiness. Doesn't have to be swingers. They've ruined the pineapple for everybody.
No, it's just kind of an odd symbol, though, to have tattooed on your body.
Anybody just buy a pineapple? Those things are so hard to cut.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Just buy the chunk ones.
Already cut.
Not as fresh, bro.
No, they're not, but they're hard. You got to get those holes. You need a really sharp knife to get through that skin.
Mm-hmm. That's why they're a good symbol for the swingers, because they hold up for a long time.
Now I want a pineapple.
To eat or just to carry around with you?
I feel like a pineapple.
You think if you carried a pineapple around the station here, you'd be let go, you'd be fired, you'd be hauled into HR and say, stop this swinging?
I wouldn't know, because I guarantee a lot of people would know what I was doing.
Okay.
Because we only talk about it on this show.
Yeah.
And stock tips. Hot stock tips.
Yeah, that's true. Now, I had pineapple every day when we were in Jamaica. Pineapple and papaya. I can't find papaya in St. Louis. Tried.
How about that, like Whole Foods, or the World Market, or one of those places?
No. Somebody told me they don't get them because they're too expensive to get, and they don't sell a lot of them, and they go bad pretty quickly. So you spend all that money to bring papaya in, and if they don't buy them, then they go to waste.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Well, there's
It's a nice papaya story.
my fruit tip of the day.
Yeah. If you're looking for papaya, you're flat out of luck.
If you find them, let me know. Just like I'm trying to find lamb chops. Nobody sells lamb chops.
Oh, come on. You can find a lamb chop, can't you?
No.
So you're sad about that?
Is that Sherry Lewis?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was attractive. I feel like lamb chops.
I feel like jewelry, so I'm going to Glenn Betts. Playing golf with the Betts is on Sunday's my
really?
plan. Yeah. Glenn Betts Jewelers. Yeah, it's glennbettsjewelers.com. They're located a mile east of I-270 in the Manchester exit in De Pere, and that's where you can find Craig and his son David, and you are going to get to know them, and it's not some big retail store where they're trying to sell you. No. You
Very cozy, very cozy
It is
in there.
That's nice, Iggy. That's a good word for it. They get to know your likes, they get to know your lifestyle, and who and what you love. The 3 L's. It's glennbettsjewelers.com. In the jewelry business, there is good, then there is better, and then there is Betts. The Betts family passion for serving their customers has been passed down from generation to generation. Glenn Betts Jewelers in business in St. Louis since 1941, operated by the third and fourth generation of the Betts family. The Glenn Betts difference is you are served personally, not sold. Send your emails in for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. That comes your way at 9:45. Don't forget to sign up to be a TMA Listener of the Month at Milagro Tequila. Can you dethrone the lipstick lass? Is she dethronable? Doug, we now know she has children.
Right.
That means producer Joe wouldn't pursue her. He said he would not ever be with a woman who has slept with an athlete or who has had children.
Okay. And he stuck by that for many years, apparently.
He told us he would never get married, and here he is, and I think he's been with the same lass for a decade.
How old is he now?
43? Ballpark?
Yeah. Well, he's not out of the woods yet.
I don't think he will.
Well, doesn't the woman have to say yes, too?
Yeah.
So you're saying she's sticking with him but doesn't want to marry him?
Could be.
It's probably easier to find a guy who's committed to never being married than a woman. The women that are committed to never marrying again are those who have already been married once and want nothing to do with it again. And they can take care of themselves, usually.
Yeah.
Women are far better able to deal with life on their own than most men.
Well, Prod Joe is a wonderful cook with his big green egg.
Is he really?
Yeah, he is. He's a big fan of that thing. Him and Chris Nagel. You have the big green egg?
I don't.
Why don't you get a Traeger?
Don't tell me what to get.
What's the difference?
I don't know. I don't know. I remember the listener was like, "Oh, Traeger or nothing." You look it up; it's like $1,500 for a grill. It's like, okay.
They're both overpriced. It's just a status symbol.
I just got one for a couple $100. It cooks the same stuff.
Yeah. I got the one the Munganess boys gave me. I love it. Grills perfectly. I can fit 8 burgers on there. I can fit 4 steaks on there. Oh, I got a Traeger, man. Look at how cool I am.
Yeah.
Not everybody. I'm not going to say everybody feels like that, but
there are tong snobs.
Yeah, when you're
snobs.
When you're spending $2,000 on a grill, it's basically a status symbol.
Yeah, probably.
For a while there, we were using our camping grill, our charcoal camping grill.
Oh, one of those little green
Fit
ones?
just like 2 burgers on
Like
it.
a Coleman grill?
Yeah.
Like hibachi.
Breaking news, our Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month for the month of August, Lipstick Lass has sent in. She has, yes, I have been married a long time.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that takes
what do we
about
do?
a thing or two.
Takes the wind out of your sails a little bit?
Would it look weird if we stripped her of the award now?
No, she's got it coming.
Yeah, can we have your
bottle of tequila back?
Does she at least wear a black ring on her
what about that?
right hand?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody was trying to sleep with her.
Or even know who she is.
Well, we've seen her.
I don't think I have.
Tim, big green eggs run off of lump charcoal Traegers or pellet grills that use electric. Thanks, that's Herb's Hog. Giving us the difference, Doug.
Yeah. I've heard people like their pellet grills. I don't want to go buy a bunch of pellets.
I just cook burgers and steaks. Like, I can get by with my $40 grill.
Yeah,
honestly.
I can too.
I can cook my sides inside. I don't need, that side plate. I'm 2 steps away from my oven where my green beans are cooking.
Ooh, delicious green beans.
But
Traeger
keep in mind,
grills is like wearing a polo shirt with an oversized logo on it. Just real needy attention whoring.
Oh, really?
Oh,
That's some Arbor Day. Is that right?
Yeah, I agree. Now, I wear it because I got it at the last act. It was on sale. I wasn't going and looking for a big horse.
You imagine going to the retail lady and go, "Hey, I'm looking for the biggest horse shirt you got."
I'd rather have the small one, but when you see a $90 shirt on sale at the last act for $19.95, you buy it. I don't care how big the horse is.
Horsepower.
Horsepower.
I was looking for attention when I bought that blue skipper's hat from Monaco.
The darling hat, though.
It is darling. I like that.
I got to wear that again.
Put that on with the Jackie O sunglasses. That'd be hot.
Oh, yeah. White pants and a blue sport coat. Collar popped.
I got my white pants on today. I've made a statement. I don't care about Labor Day. If I want to wear white pants in December, I'm going to wear them.
Now, why would you do such a thing?
Because they're comfortable pants. I don't care. Status. It's Labor Day. You can't wear white. I don't care. I'll wear what I want to wear.
I wonder if technology will ever get to the point where there'll be a little button on your pants and it'll change the color of the pants. I bet it will. Not in the next 5 years, but
No, it
give
wouldn't, because that would,
give it 20 or 30 years.
That would cost manufacturers money.
They have talked about, like the NBA has proposed smart jerseys that could be coming in the next 10 years where you buy one jersey and let's say your favorite player gets traded, you can change the jersey to that new team.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
It's years away, but they've talked that is a possibility. So all you need to do is buy one jersey.
You know what else you need to be able to change easily, and that's furniture. Because there's a lot of times you got a couch that's very comfortable, you love it, but the pattern on it is just horrific.
There's plenty of
And if you could just easily change the color of that to something you liked, you
can.
would have to buy a whole new couch.
You absolutely can.
How do you do?
I mean,
without reupholstering.
Well, that's an issue.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
what
they
I'm
have
talking
quick,
about.
easy covers, but depending on how cheap you want it to look, reupholstery is the only way to do it.
I just want, only way now, but I just want to be able to press a button and the fabric changes color or something.
That'd be sick. I'd love a vacuum for my couch.
A vacuum?
Set it on the couch and just have it go like a little, map out my couch and get all the dog hair.
Why would a manufacturer do anything that's going to cost them money?
Because they can make money on it.
They can make money on that, but nobody's ever going to buy a couch again. You buy one couch and you're never going to see them again.
Oh, we've been in the couch market for several months, just perusing.
Well, you would still need different size couches.
This is, I've never heard this theory. Doug, tell me if you have. It's from the Flat Avenue boy who is active today. Traegers are for guys who think that brisket makes them likable while going through a midlife crisis and making the marriage work, quote, for the kids.
Oh.
Wow. I mean, you get a certain kind of grill.
So deep.
That's a bleak
I don't know
outlook.
that I ever think things through that far.
That's my Flat Avenue boy. A lot of thinking going on down there.
I'm usually just looking for the cheapest grill I can get. Period. That's it.
Does brisket make people likable?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, there's that crowd of sads.
That makes them likable by cooking brisket.
Oh yeah. Oh man, look at that ring. Look at that smoke ring.
I've never really understood
They're
the
basically
great-
popping boners and they're like.
The great
I think that
attraction
text is
for
probably
brisket.
80% right.
Is that right?
I don't know.
Yeah, if you go to Facebook and anybody's posting a Traeger grill, there's always a brisket or some ribs. Been smoking them for 25 hours.
Oh man, that
falling
looks
off the bone.
sick. Yeah,
Instantly more likable.
And then I post
And
a
that
picture.
makes them likable, and they're going through a midlife crisis, and they're making the marriage work, quote, for the kids. What does that even mean?
Maybe they're just hungry.
Yeah, they don't want to get divorced because of the kids, and I'm going to go out and smoke some meat on my Traeger.
So their escape from the marriage is to smoke meat.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, I didn't know all
I guess
this.
it could be.
Yeah, I got a grill that is never used usually for more than 10 minutes at a time. Steak, grilling a lobster, pork chop, 10 minutes. I'm not
Dover sole.
I'm not cooking ribs on there for
You tried
38
pork
hours.
chops, but they got stolen.
I would get so sick of having to cook meat for 20 hours. I would be so over that.
You just got to stand there and watch it?
No.
Turn it?
It's like I
You
can't
let
wait
it
to
sit.
anticipate my hunger for the next day. Like,
That's when it gets stolen. You just let it sit there for 10 hours and you come back out and it's gone.
Ideally, you'd have some sort of guarded grill, some sort of privacy.
Yeah, you'd need a private watchman there.
I'm sure for $2,000 there's probably an alarm on there.
The reluctant cuck advances the Flat Avenue boys theory. This is wonderful, Doug. It's like a master's thesis on human behavior.
Right.
The amount of people who get into smoking meats after they either get married or have kids is insane. They're basically stuck in the house now, so they decide to take up smoking meats to deal with their newfound boring lives. That's from the reluctant cuck.
I did see a TikTok about that where it's you have like three choices. It's either you get into smoking meats, you get really into bourbon, or you start playing golf, or a combination of the
Really into bourbon.
Yeah,
that's probably a real good flag.
That's a good three, Jackson.
That's what I saw on TikTok. And I also maybe like video games.
well, that
Those are your
bourbon
choices.
and barbecue guy almost come
There's
together.
an overlap on the Venn diagram?
They just come together as one. I think it's when your kid hits 8 or 9 years old.
That you start drinking bourbon.
So now the divorce
That's right.
is too late. Now you got to wait the 9 year for the kid to turn 18 and to explain to them that they're done.
And maybe if they really want to feel like the world's most interesting man, they grab a really good cigar. They know about cigars.
You don't see
too.
cigars so much. The bourbon is, and you never see somebody post having a bourbon tonight and it's a Jim Beam. It's always like a Pappy Van Winkle.
Johnson.
That'd be so funny.
Here
and
comes
off-brand.
barbecue guy. Bourbon guy has been activated too with the fall chill in the air. It's his season. We're all about to hear how great his bourbon is because it's aged 100 years and he had to drive to the middle of Kentucky to buy it. It's from Al in Dadeville.
Yeah,
It's always the most expensive. Just had a nice little Pappy Van Winkle tonight. It's like $100 a shot. Why don't you just throw Jack Daniels up there, Jim Beam?
Steve Klein's Dirty Hat's not happy with Jackson. He says segment 1 is only Jackie Boy's Hello Fresh ad and the Golden Hour ad. Come on, Casper.
Why won't he
Steve
upload
Klein.
it?
So I
Why?
just saw that and I looked, and on my Apple Podcast and on the TMSTL app, it's the full segment. So I don't know why this person is saying that.
I don't know either.
I'm legitimately. I'm not like casting aspersions. I'm legitimately curious why it's happening to them.
Well, cast aspersion. If it's up there, then he's wrong.
Well, I get, but I want to help the person through.
There's nothing to help. He's wrong.
Right, I hear what you're saying. Because on from
You're
my
a nice
end,
guy.
it looks.
You're a nice guy. You're gonna be nice. I get tired of him.
Well, Steve Klein's Dirty Hat, which is what a wild text name. But just let me know if that problem persists, and I'll do the best I can to help you through it.
How big of a dork do you have to be to post about your smoked meats? Can you imagine our dad's doing something that effing dumb? That's from the Afton Altar Boy, and I guess he's upset.
But isn't it
Smoked
also
meat.
dorky to be upset that people are posting about smoked meats?
No, you should be upset.
Okay. I took care of that.
There's no
Because everybody's eating. We're all eating something.
There's no social media when our dads were cooking.
Bourbon guy evolves from hitting your 40s and no longer wanting to pound a case of Bush. That's from 314.
It's kind of like if you're in your 50s driving a vet. You know, you're having a midlife crisis. You got a small penis.
No,
Wow,
come on.
all these things from just one product. I didn't even
Sometimes
know
it's just
about.
a really nice, luxurious car.
You know, if you're in
that
your
you-
50s and you're out there buying a sports car with the top down, and you know,
I don't know
if I
that
see
that's
that and
true.
I drive by, roll down the window, and say sorry for the small penis.
You do that.
It at
And
least
what
has-
kind of response do you get?
At least
Dirty
a car
Luke.
has an important purpose. Smoked meat, well, you're going to eat it in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think both are stupid, and you definitely have a small penis if you have a lifted truck. Just plain and simple.
Guys,
So
my
That's
least
another tell?
favorite guy is Simp Guy, who goes from his Maryland Heights perv shack to his part-time job in between hate-scrolling social media. That's from Arbor Day.
Oh,
How does that make me a simp?
That's actually a good question.
You don't
Do you
know
have
the
simp
definition
tendencies?
of simp. No, I'm a nice guy. That's the difference of being a simp.
do you have to be a mean guy if you're a simp?
If somebody DMs me or asks me for a favor and I say yes, that doesn't make me a simp.
No, it doesn't.
What makes me a simp is if a girl continuously bosses me around and yes, dear, I'll go get the groceries. Yes, dear, I'll do that. Yes, dear, I'll go pick up your laundry. That's a simp.
So married men, a lot of them are simps.
Or single guys, if they just take orders from everybody.
I've really grown tired of Mike, okay?
Who?
Mike.
Got tired of himself?
Seggy 1 is 1 hour and 3 minutes. Tell this dirty hat guy to shut up. That's from Larry Thornton.
Gosh.
The Larry Thornton level.
Yeah, I've checked all the sources, and it's all playing the podcast as normal. So I wonder what.
If that were the case, Jackson, you know as well as I do, now that you have nearly 3 years of tenure on this show, that we would receive about 100 text messages about it. So that's the only one that I'm seeing about it.
Yeah. So I'm just curious why it would only happen to him.
Reluctant Cuck has issued a statement. I am not against the meat smoking or bourbon. It's the humble bragging on social media. It just screams, look at how interesting my life is. To post pictures of smoking meats?
Well, that's what we're talking about.
But I feel like that's projecting like your own problem.
How else are we going to know if they're doing it unless we see it?
Who cares what alcohol you're drinking?
And I gotta think,
But
like,
also, who cares if you're posting the alcohol you're drinking?
and think about the wife in her scenario. You got your husband who's more concerned about the green egg and what's in it than like the family. He's out there for like the 10th hour, checking the temperature of the meat when the kid just wants to have a catch.
Don't say have a catch. Don't say that.
Nice little retro throwback. Have a catch.
I don't know. I never got into it.
We didn't have time to have a catch when we were barbecuing because my dad wasn't smoking meats for 20 hours. He'd throw some burgers on or steaks on and flip them. We didn't have time to play catch.
Yeah, at least you had meat to eat.
What were you eating?
We would love to have had meat to eat. We had rocks and pebble, grass.
Oh, yeah, you did eat rocks.
You know, sticks, if we could find any.
I used to love sipping on bourbon and trying new and different bottles, but bourbon guys ruined it for me. I no longer want to be associated with these sad, frumpy losers. That's from Scooter. Wow,
You
this
can
is a real
still-
thing I'm not aware of.
You can still do it. Just don't post pictures of it. If you don't post pictures of it and brag about how expensive your bourbon is, nobody knows it.
Isn't wine guy the same thing?
Yeah, but I think bourbon guy's more in vogue.
Was that right?
And I feel like there's a touch more of like a rugged lifestyle if you're drinking bourbon.
Yeah, you're a man's man.
Right.
I mean, do you ever see any pictures of that? A guy with a hibachi Cooking a couple burgers tonight.
A home
Yeah.
hibachi.
Yes. It's bourbon night.
Life is good.
Bourbon night. I'm trying the $2 chuck. No, it's always the expensive stuff. That is a humble brag if you're posting that. If I see a guy posting next to his hibachi with a single burger on there, drinking a Busch Light,
Oh, that is old money.
and he says, I'm just having a little dinner and drink tonight, God love you. You're not trying to humble brag because you got a crap grill and you got a crap beer.
How about the people that just post their day's schedule? Like, work day.
That really goes on.
Then home, pay some bills.
I'm bothered by
Hit the
Ella
gym.
Reese posting her, what is that, like an Apple Watch of her workout?
Yeah.
What is the deal? But then I said that to Jackson during a break on Balloon Party. We're both there trying to get through it. And I said, boy, this Ella Reese just keeps posting. I think she got a BBL. Doug, do you think she got a BBL?
What's a BBL?
Brazilian butt lift.
I
think
don't
she
know.
did.
You do?
I don't know who it is.
And then she'll just post like her Apple Watch for, I guess, after her workout. And Jackson said that's a big thing with his generation.
Yeah, if I were to...
And I wasn't aware of that either. I'm just not aware of much.
If I were to start...
And I'm kind of good with
You shouldn't be aware of this. You should not be. There's other more important things to be aware of.
I mean, I got a couple of children and a wife, and that's kind of where I am at this
reading
point.
someone else's Apple Watch.
Right, well, if I were
What's
to
the deal with it, Jackson?
If I were to scroll Instagram, like stories, like if I were just next to you scrolling Instagram stories, I would say through one round, we would probably see 3 of those exact things.
Really?
Yeah,
And
this is
what is the psychology of that? And because we're looking at the psychology and extrapolating from it on, what was it, bourbon guy and meat smoking guy and
Sure.
What else? What's going on
Well, let's
here?
dig in. Like,
All right.
I think if you're looking at the outside perspective of what social media is, it's projecting the lifestyle that you want, not necessarily the one that you have.
But why do you care about projecting it?
Gratification, you're looking for some vindication, you're kind of looking for maybe a subconscious place of belonging, like, I can put this out there and feel some sort of gratification for people seeing this, and so you're projecting this lifestyle that you want to be leading, even if it's not the one you're having. So one of those things would be working out daily, and if you're posting that every day, it's kind of like this is my life, this is my ideal life, even though it may not be the case.
I think I saw where the number one thing that young people want to be now is an influencer. So maybe they feel like they have to post something every day. And if you're a porn star, you got to post something every day so people don't forget you. And if it's in the gym, it's, look, I'm getting in shape for you.
Nice.
It's probably
Thank you, Ella.
It's probably just a way to
Tim, Ella Reese or
stay in
Sky
front of
Brady?
people.
Ella Reese.
Really?
Well, let me inform these people that think they're influencers. I see so many that actually in their title on Twitter and Instagram says influencer. And you have 2,200 followers.
Uh-oh. Doug, it's follower shaming.
Well, that's how you get to become an influencer. If you got 1 million followers and thousands of likes on the stuff you post, that's how you make money. You're not an influencer if you have 1,200 followers and you post something and you get 2 likes. You're
What
not
are
an
you?
influencer.
A pre-influencer?
No, you're
a wannabe?
You're a poser.
A poser. But no one's going to put that on there.
You're not an influencer.
I could change my bio to poser if you want. Knock that out.
There's a lot of influence. Pace
I could
Sporanic
do
was
that
an
right now.
influencer and made her a millionaire. But you got to have people following you and people liking your stuff to get $40,000 every time you post something like the Kardashians do.
A reluctant cock active in the discussion, just like the Flat Avenue boy. But who the hell is impressed by a guy who is sitting in his backyard watching the temperature on a pork butt? They should try to project a more glamorous lifestyle. It's from the reluctant cock.
Well, I was speaking more to the posting your Apple Watch of your workout and all the active calories you burned. Less so about the meat smoking, but, there's certainly something there.
Oh, if you're taking a picture of a meat thermometer, it's almost like a cry for help.
Is that what this is?
I don't even know if the person posting that picture even knows it yet, but it's up to their friends, to have that meeting with them. Have
You'd like to see an intervention if you see a meat thermometer.
Maybe not at the house, but maybe go out for drinks.
Right.
Show them other, meats.
That sounds like an SNL skit where a meat smoking intervention.
That's usually the 8th. That's usually the 8th picture in a series of. You got a picture of the rub. You got a picture of the marination. You got a picture of the grill. You got a picture of it on the grill. The last picture is a meat thermometer. Almost done, guys. And then the last picture is you cutting into it.
Now, Iggy, I don't want to equate this to that, but there is some Instagram post of you with the pot roast. And I wonder if this might be pot. Well, listen.
I'm not
I want to
bragging
put it
about-
all out there.
I'm not
What was the
bragging about a
temperature?
pot roast.
How hot did you get
That
it?
went into the crock pot. Hey, look at my crock pot.
How
Look
is
at
it different than the meat thermometer of the smoking meats?
Because you're talking about a brisket, an expensive cut of meat, your Traeger, your green egg, all of that.
Then what are you talking about?
This the only pellets I use.
I don't remember doing a pot roast.
You were proud of that pot roast.
I don't remember doing a pot roast. I haven't had a pot roast in ages.
If you're bashing
But if I
somebody
did,
else's...
it was in the crock pot, and I'm not. Hey, I just cooked a pot roast in a crock pot for 8 hours. Look at me. I'm not bragging about anything.
This seemingly coming from the Southeastern Conference, Doug, maybe not as relatable to the St. Louis audience, but maybe you'll understand it. I don't know. Underrated part of Bourbon Guy is posting a picture of your glass while also displaying your, quote, expensive watch and the cuff of a plaid button-down shirt. The shirt is supposed to mean I'm rugged, but the guy actually grew up in Alpharetta and went to Auburn. Thanks, that's Al in Dateville.
No. Alpharetta's Georgia.
You want to post something that makes me say you're not showing off? Say it's bourbon night. Have a little snifter with a bourbon in it and say I'm having, and just sit there. You got to put the bottle right next to it, though, so you can see how expensive that bottle is.
Is that what that is? That's what it is.
If you
so
just
is that
post-
a wealth thing?
It's just trying to show off that, look, I got money, and this is the expensive bourbon I drink. If you just post a picture of your glass of bourbon, say, hey, I'm having bourbon night. I got no problem with that. Congrats. Have fun.
These aren't guys just looking for a laugh.
Got to put that bottle right next to it.
Jackson, don't you dare call that thing Iggy posted a pot roast. It was human remains. Also, I prefer my influencers to deep fry some Mississippi catfish they got as part of a secret trade deal. That's from glove blogger Tom Traven.
You're just wrong. I have never cooked catfish.
You haven't?
I like
The
catfish.
secret trade deal, however, we're going to tend to that later.
No, I
KG,
think I've only caught like I think I've only caught like 2 catfish in my life.
KG in O-Town Plowhawk is now in the text inbox, so he sees what I see daily. He has just sent in screenshots of Iggy's posts of his food.
Yeah, I'm not humble bragging.
Well, why would you send them in then?
Did you see me put? Yeah, I got myself a nice $900 Wagyu beef I'm cooking.
No, it looks like about a $10, $11 cut.
Yes, I'm not
Oh, yeah, you even
bragging
kept
about
this-
anything.
you kept
Well,
the
why would you-
sticker on.
Why would you post it at all? We're all going to eat.
So what? I just like posting pictures of my food, but it's not
Why?
to brag.
But why?
I'm not
would you,
talking about how expensive my cut of meat is, or
Why would you post
how
pictures of
expensive
the
my
food?
glass of milk was that I got sitting next to it.
Oh, wow.
And half of them on a paper plate.
What sort of feedback are you looking for when you post your food?
People like me to post food sometimes.
Who?
They'll ask me, what is
Who
it?
likes you to post their food?
Well, you'll have to look at some of the comments. People ask me questions all the time.
Like what?
I'm not trying to gain anything from it. Some people just like seeing a picture of my food.
Pot
Who
roast
likes to see
influencer.
your food?
Where's the pot roast? I don't remember posting pot roast.
I'm looking at it right here. It looks yummy. I'd eat it. I'd eat the hell out of it, is what I do.
I'm not showing off. I'm talking about, I just said, if a guy posts a picture of him with a glass of bourbon, said it's bourbon night, enjoying myself, feet up, fireplace, great, have a great night. And you got to put the expensive bottle next to it. That's what you're showing off. I'm not talking about how much my food cost or what I cooked in. I live in a hovel. Two of my burners on my stove don't even work.
No.
The glove blogger is now demanding the names of the people asking for your food post.
Oh, go look at the comments on the ones people. I'm
Glove
sure people
blogger,
are
look at
grabbing
them.
them.
I'm going right now.
I'm sure people are grabbing them and putting them everywhere now.
What are they saying?
Yeah, look at all the food he posts.
So
I posted a picture of a hot dog the other night.
KG screenshot.
They're coming in fast and furious. KG and O-Town now with the. Iggy, this is a picture of you with your a rogue hand and then 3 bottles of booze.
That's probably I was thanking somebody for giving it to Gobble.
Oh, no.
Is there a caption on it?
I can't tell. It's
Probably took that off there.
Maddie Bear for Nice Life Jacket Eggs.
What?
That's what the caption is.
I think that was the post above.
Maddie Bear for Life.
Maddie Bear for Life.
What?
So Iggy, on the finished product of the pot roast, someone posted this, some good-looking tiramisu.
It is tiramisu right there.
That's tiramisu? I thought that was pot roast.
No, that's tiramisu.
Pot roast? I
The
still
far
remember
left
when I cooked a pot roast.
The far left one, Jackson, I think is ice cream on top of tiramisu.
No, bro, I think that's the pot roast and mashed potatoes.
Are they supposed to look the same?
I haven't cooked a pot
Does that
roast in
mean it's
years.
good, or does that mean it's...
How far back you going? And I will say that there are times when
I'm not going back anywhere. I'm just looking at
I've posted bottles of scotch that I've had, and I guarantee you, I've either thanked somebody for giving it to me, or it was for Gobble Bowl, and that was some of the liquor. We got some nice liquor for Gobble Bowl for the booze bin.
Timmy Burkhardt.
Or thanks to Timmy Burkhardt or the guys at Major Brands for the nice bottles of scotch. I'm not saying, look what I'm drinking tonight. Got myself a Bellantini.
I think people would prefer to see pictures of the possum that sits on your chair or the neighbors that won't go away and sit down where you're supposed to be sitting.
Oh, I got enough of those. Not the possum, but the other ones.
Okay.
Well, you may have possums again. It's getting a little chilly out.
Doug, the Flat Avenue boy is the one who started all of this. I don't know if it was a brilliant choreography or not. He is back, and he says, I have to confess, I posted pictures of my smoked meats when I was a young lad of 32 years. Now that I'm much older, at the age of 33, I realize my mistakes and wish I had just posted pictures of my underwear in the reflection of a spoon.
Oh, yeah, we got that too.
People are really wanting to know who's asking Iggy for the food pics.
How many?
Like,
Jackson, have you found people commenting?
Yeah, all I found was the tiramisu, and then when it was in the crock pot, it said, what am I looking at here? And that was from Aunt Peg.
Look at the Chicago ginger.
You don't see the DMs I get. Iggy, that looked good.
Very true.
Do you have a recipe for that? Iggy, that looked great. What did you use for that? What seasoning? Did you marinate it? People ask me questions.
I would eat that pot roast. It looks yummy.
I don't remember cooking a pot roast.
See, I got a picture. It was from December 6, 2022.
In a crock pot?
Yeah.
Look at
3 separate posts.
Sure, it
the
wasn't
618 has a funny little screenshot. Like Iggy sent picture of like stacks of money, cookies baking in the oven.
Stacks of money?
Where'd you get the money?
I had never had stacks of money. Where am I posting pictures of stacks of money?
Doug,
Cletus's house.
Cam, are you in the 618 image?
Well, there's a lot of 618s. I see this. Okay, yes, all right. Now I see what you're talking about. Yep.
Strode Family Game Night. I won a pot and I got excited.
It's Strode Family Game
There's
Night.
back-to-back pictures of stacks of cash.
Yeah, it's probably. Can I see it?
But there's a lot. Yeah, of course.
And a lot of food.
There's a lot of food pictures.
Where'd you get that money?
Strode Family Game Night.
Well, you guys are playing high stakes over there.
People are just going to my Facebook page and just grabbing pictures off there.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Why don't you put some dates on there, too? Again, I don't do it to show off on how much money I got.
Why else would you do it?
Because I told you, people enjoy me. I got friends you don't know on my Facebook page.
And they want to know how much money you want.
A lot of them enjoy my pictures of my food, so I do it to make them happy. I'm not showing off that I made a pot roast in a crock pot that cost like, and it wasn't even, my sister gave me the crock pot.
So it's kind of a goodwill gesture.
The images won't stop.
I'm just trying to help people.
There's 500.
It's a helpful thing.
You're kind of an influencer.
Yeah, here's a picture of my dad burgers. People ask me what's in it. Give them the recipe.
It's a way to give back to the community. Pictures of meat.
I'm not bragging that I got a dad burger that I grilled.
Ham.
Harrison's brother Master. Ham. There's a plate of chopped up ham.
Okay,
right above
great.
it, there's a scallops, and then above that, and then above that.
Most of us will have lunch.
I never posted a picture of chopped up ham.
It's right
we have the
there.
screenshot.
April
I guarantee
9th.
it's not chopped ham.
What is that?
It's from April.
You just recently did it.
Looks like Easter ham.
That's a pork-a-loin.
Pork-a-loin.
Drinkowitz.
That needs to be a
Cantalay, Drinkowitz, pork-a-loin.
I'd
get the T-shirt going.
I'd snag that text line name immediately.
Flowsy, I sent you a text yesterday. Smithfield was on sale for $4.99.
And I bought one.
That's a pork loin.
So why would you?
It's that expensive pork loin.
Why would you post that?
I told you, people like me to post
They
food.
don't.
Stephen Wildwood still wants to know who.
I got a recipe for that ham.
Well, you can't see my DMs or private messages. So
No,
don't
you're
worry
right.
about it.
You're absolutely right.
So they're full of people saying, "Please, please tell us what
I
you're
know,
cooking
but I know
today."
they enjoy it, so I do it.
I don't know that
I don't
anyone
care.
enjoys it.
I mean, you look next to it. There's a fork and a knife and a glass of milk. I'm not trying to brag about anything.
Well, why post that then?
How many times? Do you listen to what I say?
Are you just happy?
I told you, people enjoy it, so I do. Even if it's only one.
With this pork-a-loin, I think you're just happy that you were able to cook it without it being stolen.
Yeah. My mom always said you're put on this earth for one reason, to make somebody happy each day, make somebody smile each day. If I make one person happy by putting the food up there, I've done something.
Wow.
I don't care about the other 90 people that hate it.
There are more than 90, it looks like.
Steve Klein's dirty hat wants to be pork-a-loin, Jackson. I don't know if you're giving it out to him.
That's such like a sought-after thing.
Oh, yeah, you may have to. Yeah.
Let me take a look.
I was going to say pork steak, and it was pork loin, and I kind of stopped. Loin. I was going to say pork steak.
Send your emails in. Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day should be wonderful. Send them in the morning after at InsideSTL.com, and Balloon Party should be equally as wonderful. And then Jackson will have QFTA after that. Send your emails in for that. T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com, TMCKERNAN at InsideSTL.com. Jackson, tell Doug what's coming up on Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Alton Toyota's Balloon Party.
Yes, please.
Half and half.
Certainly will be a little half and half action, but it's a wide berth Wednesday.
Yeah.
And so any and all deep dive requests will be taken into consideration, and it might become a topic on the presentation.
Wow, look at that.
You know, you never know. Doug, if you got a deep dive topic you want us to go in on?
Food picks.
It sounds like you got absolutely nothing.
Whoa! What are you talking about? What are you
Win $199.
Yeah.
Okay,
We'll
I
take
guess
about
you can get an hour out of that.
42 minutes on that.
Yeah.
And then we'll finish it up with Will the NBA work in St. Louis? Sounds like a tidy little, tidy little program.
Yeah.
Doug, do you think a Pappy Van Winkle will go well with a aged Wagyu beef steak?
I don't know.
News you can use.
I got them both.
Is it too old to talk about Aaron Rodgers out for the year, I guess? Huh?
Zach Wilson season?
That's a career ender, I do believe.
Yeah.
Don't want to say it. Love me some A-Rob, but 40, rehabbing a 16-month injury.
How many years did he sign?
I think 2 years.
No, he's not
and
going anywhere for 2 years.
restructured the deal to sign Lazard and Cobb, I think.
Yeah, you can't
that's right. Yeah, you're right.
You can't release somebody with an injury, can you?
I don't know what the
I don't
contract
think so,
is.
no.
He'll make. I mean, he's worth $500 million. I mean, he's made enough money, but.
If you're worth $500 million, go get some work in today at Family Golf. I might go there, Dave. I might.
You might,
Get some
really.
work in.
It's gonna be
I wouldn't
glorious.
tell people, Tim.
Glorious the next 10 days.
I do run into listeners at Family Golf quite
It becomes a
actually.
security
Enjoy it.
risk.
You know, I tell them I'm not going to sign.
Right up front, you say that.
Yeah, because I can tell them, like, yeah, I know. I
Can
get
you
it.
sense the disappointment?
I think at this point now people know I'm not going to sign.
Yeah.
And then I have a little step stool in my golf bag if they want a picture.
Mm-hmm. For you or them? For you.
Yeah, they have to sit on their knees.
Right. Yeah, they have to get in the oral position.
Oh.
And then we can do the photo. Boy, I'll tell you what, it is really in great shape. But I mean, you can hit off the mat, of course. Double-decker driving range. I like hitting off the grass, Doug. It's compression season, as you know. Jackson was really striking the ball at Norwood, but God, he said it was the best he struck the ball all year. Did you think that was his strokes gained tee to green, but then just had really his strokes gained putting and strokes gained ATG left him wanting. Am I right, Jackson? Is that the correct assessment of your round? I was looking at the data.
Big time. I haven't struck golf balls like that. Like the whole back nine, I don't think I had one, maybe like on the first par 3, but other than that, I was striking the
ball. Pull up the first par 3.
Jackson won the contest?
Huh? Which contest?
Wasn't it the play with Tim the day after?
No, we talked about our winner on Monday.
Oh, that's right. I
I
wasn't here.
Foundation.
I wasn't here.
Matt Blassie.
Classy Matty Blassie.
And is related, by the way. We were talking during the round. Is indeed
Classy
related.
Freddie Blassie.
To Pat?
To
Pat Blassie?
Freddie Blassie.
Oh, so there's a Pat Blassie from Altair Travel. That's who you were talking about.
We were talking about the one from the rest.
How many Blassies are there?
But could be related to Pat as well.
It's not a common name. So.
Did this guy strut around and poke people with the club when the referee wasn't looking?
Exactly right. Get your golf, get your short game area, man. I'm telling you. God, I love that short game area. And that's where I'm going to be wagering the listeners on Friday, October 6th. I'm happy to lose money. I'm happy to win it as well.
See what you did. Yeah.
Yep, it was awesome. FamilyGolfOnline.com. Go get your work in. Send your emails in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Design Air Heating and Cooling email today comes up in 15 minutes when we start the 9 o'clock hour. It's 9:29. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studio.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Okay.
Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Strode. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at tmastl.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever. All right, here we go. Here's something new, announcing the first ever TMA Hit and Giggle, brought to you by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Benefiting the Megan Meyer Foundation. Friday, October 6th at Family Golf and Learning Center. It's a 9-hole par 3 tournament full of threesomes. Oh, geez. And it's a walking course, so if you're a walrus, start getting in shape. Your $55 ticket includes 9 holes, beer from Mich Ultra, and lunch or dinner depending on your tee time. Plus shipping and putting contest for our degenerate gamblers. You'll also get to see Iggy's Long Drive Challenge. Brought to you by Souder Appraisal. Can he hit it 210, 220, maybe 223? Who knows? But it should be a fun day no matter what. The first ever TMA Hit and Giggle. Brought to you by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota. Better than ever for you, their customer. And Family Golf and Learning Center. They make St. Louis better at golf. Visit FamilyGolfOnline.com. Tickets are on sale now. Get all of the Hit and Giggle info now at TMASTL.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I'm with a great sponsor of TMA, and that's Longo Biggs of the Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. People are starting to head out now. It is summertime, but that means an increase in car accidents.
Hey guys, like Tim just said, summer is finally here, and that means there's more people on the roadways. And you might be going to a Cardinals game, or maybe you're headed home from taking your buddy's money on the golf course. But with increased traffic on the roads, it also means a higher likelihood for car accidents. If you get in an accident, contact our firm immediately. We've successfully handled a countless number of car, motorcycle, and truck accidents. And if you go to our website, you will see we have received awards for doing so. We will make the process easy for you while maximizing the compensation you receive. Go to our website or Google Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement.
Blues and Brews is happening Friday, September 22nd at the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. It's an outdoor street party celebrating another St. Louis blues season with live music from country star Chris Lane.
Well, it's time to move on, scoot on over.
And local blues musician Marquise Knox. Plus appearances by blues players, alumni, food trucks, blues merch, giveaways, and more. Tickets are on sale now, but you could win a free 4-pack of tickets. Just check out the TMA app or go to TMASTL.com to find out how to win. Blues and Brews, Friday, September 22nd. Presented by Bud Light, 92.3 WIL, and 101 ESPN. And currently being talked about by the Morning After Voice Guy. Thank you.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
With the fall's cool weather upon us, we hope you'll let Lee May Concrete Block help you with all your landscaping projects. We have been a locally owned and operated manufacturer since 1947, priding ourselves on the quality of our products and the customer service we provide. Lee May Block offers a complete line of fireplaces, outdoor living kits, decorative retaining wall blocks, ready-mix concrete, masonry block, as well as concrete parking curbs and air conditioning slabs. Please come visit our showroom off South Broadway at 326 East Courtois, or visit us online at LeeMayBlock.com.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lotman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at JeffLotman.com, bringing people and properties together.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you, or fake you, or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios. KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Well, let's put our golf where our mouths are.
Now.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2.
Powder blue. Yeah, Jackson's wearing the powder blue today, and the powder blue is available at tmastlshop.com. 10% off the entire site this week as we unveil new hoodies and T-shirts every single day at tmastlshop.com. And what the Plowhawk is wearing right now, I'm a big fan of that, is available. Here's what I would tell you on the sizing, Doug.
What?
I think the hoodies will be true to form. Jackson and I were discussing this yesterday. Like, you said this, you call me Twink Boy. When you say, hey, Twink Boy, when are we doing emails?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm like 5'1 3/4", I think is the official height. And
on tiptoes?
Lifts.
Yeah.
And I weigh, what did I weigh this morning? Well, you were there when I weighed in.
105?
156.
156.
And I would say that the T-shirt, I probably need a large. If there was a size in between medium and large for the T-shirt, that would be optimal. So I'm going to say large for a little twink boy like myself for the T-shirt, but medium for the hoodie is perfect. Plowhawk, you're going. I would imagine that's a small.
Yeah, it fits the size.
There you go.
No use.
An adult small is what you're wearing.
Correct.
We do go all the way up to 4XL.
Oh, gosh.
Well, what's wrong with that?
That's like a tent.
We're looking for king-size bed sheets. Probably could
just
get
use
that
a
cheaper.
hoodie.
Just stretch a 4X out there.
Yeah, it would cover at least half the bed.
Well, your mic is off.
I'm wearing a large sweatshirt.
We always like the baggy look.
Yeah, I do.
And that's another radio station.
Well, yeah, I'm wearing Casey. I'm starting on my TMA sweatshirt on.
Yeah.
I've never heard Doug matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be comfortable. You don't want a sweatshirt tight. You want to be able to move around in it.
Oh, yeah.
It's a nice shirt you got on there.
Yeah.
Longo Biggs, Holderness and Born, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I do like Holderness and Born.
Iggy just turned around in disgust that he didn't get one. I
No,
saw
I'm
that.
not.
I read that.
No.
Body language.
No, the big wigs on the show got one. They should.
The big wigs.
Big wigs.
Well, some people get some things and some people don't get other things.
No, I felt the material. Holderness and Born have great shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Can I watch you feel him?
I felt your shirt.
Ooh.
With him in it?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
He was wearing it and I felt the material. It's nice material. Nice and it breathes.
Does it?
Nice for summer wear.
Okay. We're having to transition into fall here.
I give Tim credit. He's got a short sleeve shirt and a
Nice going, Tim.
short sleeve shirt and shorts on there. It was 52 degrees when I got up this morning.
I just get right out of the garage and drive here. I don't know. I
guess.
don't really think about it. And as you guys hear, I listen to podcasts all the way walking into the studio.
Walking into the studio. I thought he was on the phone. It was a podcast.
That's what I do. I enjoy it. I'm almost done with Billy Walters' book. And then I was listening to Andrew Marchand and John Oran on the Charter ESPN thing. That's what I do. I enjoy it. And if I hit balls, I'm listening to podcasts. It just puts me at ease.
Doesn't.
And it keeps people from talking to you. You got the headsets on. Nobody can hear you. Nobody's going to bother you.
I'm not listening to anything. I just put in AirPods on the off chance fans will interrupt.
We need our privacy.
Thank you. The bigwigs on the show.
Paparazzi alone will drive you nuts.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I haven't come home one day and there's like 4 people out there taking pictures and asking for autographs.
You're shocked by that.
Yeah.
Honestly, you're being truthful right now?
No, I'm kidding.
You think there's anyone in the St. Louis media that's ever had that kind of treatment?
No, there's usually 7 or 8 people milling
What about
around.
Zipra Zeppa, maybe?
With
what about
4 people hanging outside of his house?
Not that. Who was the peak peak.
Jack Buck.
Local. That's how I'm going to get Jack, because Jack Buck was national. I'm trying to think whether it be present or past. I would imagine it has to be past. I don't know.
Steve Schiff probably got a lot of people out there.
I don't know. Most people would know who Steve Schiff is.
Yeah, good-looking dude. I'm sure the women were flocking.
I don't know.
Karen Foss was a big deal for a while. Zip was a big deal for a while. Julius Hunter.
Zip had started his thing before you got to St. Louis, right? Because that was
he
Channel
big
2
at Channel
like in the
2.
mid-'80s.
I got to Channel 4 the same week that he went there.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we were
who was in the
basically
sports
hired
department?
together.
You and him and who else?
Gary Apple.
Gary Apple, wow. Who I think is still working at SNY in New York.
I think so.
He did some national stuff for a while, didn't he?
He did some Mets games.
He was the lead anchor when I went up there, and I was next to him. It was the only time I'd ever worn makeup, but it wasn't even a choice. They just come in, they put makeup on you.
Did you feel pretty?
I'm like, I felt badly for him. I'm like, I got this effing bald head. What are you going to do with it? I mean, what are you going to do with it?
You asked for the Robert Smith look?
Give me what's the Robert Smith look?
Little lipstick, little black
I was
eyeliner.
thinking of the former Vikings running back. You're thinking of the Cure, I gather.
Yeah.
Either way, it would have looked wonderful. And then I talked to him. I said, "Hey, I worked at KMOV," and talked about you. Talked badly about you.
I
too.
bet, yeah.
Gary, it was you, Gary Apple, and Zip Razak. That's a hell of a sports
for
department.
a while. Gary was the main guy, and then they hired Zip, so Gary got
really?
demoted. So that's when he said, well, I guess I don't
I'll
have
go
a
to New
future
York?
here. First he went to L.A. and then New York.
Really? Yeah. Wow, I did not know that. Was he looking like KCBS or something? Or it was probably Jim Hill.
KTTV, maybe, one of those. It was one of the independents.
I bet Trish Brown got a lot of fan mail.
Yeah.
Chris Brown's a nice play, Iggy. That's a nice play.
Yeah.
That was a...
She was just adorable.
Yeah, very nice.
Very good at what she did, too.
Mhm.
And probably Herb Humphreys. People wore
Nice
fedoras and wanted to sign hats.
I don't know that was the thing. There's not a lot of signing going on. There just isn't.
No,
Thankfully, because that
just
would be
phone
so
calls.
awkward.
Just phone calls.
Geez, you do the local news. Can you please sign this? That doesn't happen.
I was on a flight last night where someone didn't bother to put in their AirPods. It was lovely. And then I landed at Lambert and no one yelled at me because it usually doesn't happen. Thanks. That's from Tony Maloney. Doug, what I read?
Nice little travel log.
What does it mean?
It was a
He
nice
wasn't
little
bothered
travel
because he
log.
didn't have earbuds in?
So he had to hear somebody else's
And it was lovely?
show. Wouldn't you think at some point the flight attendant would
Yeah,
come
I
by
would
and
think
say,
that's
you
a
want to
flight
lower that,
attendant
please?
thing. Hey guys, Gary Apple's only 61. Thanks, 3 and 4.
That's about right. Yeah.
Boy, so how old was he in his 20s when he was a sports director at KMOV?
He might have been late 20s or
Wow.
late 30.
He must have had
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, he was very good. Yeah.
What weatherman went to the Today Show? Thanks, that's from Professor Roy Hinckley. Well, Doug, the two weathermen since I've been alive at the Today Show have been Willard Scott and Al Roker. But maybe somebody did it as a...
No, the guy at Channel 2 that was there forever.
Dave Murray was?
Dave Murray
He was on Channel
he was
8?
on Good Morning America, I think.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah. Not Today Show.
Isn't he
but
living in Palm Springs?
one of the others. I don't know where he lives now.
Buggy whip.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he lives in Palm
Jose.
Springs.
It's not. We can't necessarily think he went to the Buggy Whip.
I can't hear Palm Springs without thinking of it.
Oh. Didn't
That a real
Janice? I
place?
think Janice Huff also made it to the network at some point.
Not familiar with her.
She was at Channel 5, and then I think she made it to one of those shows briefly. And we had an anchor. God, my memory is so bad. The beautiful black girl who was the anchor for a while.
Oh,
yeah.
you went
Young.
to Atlanta?
Yes.
Yeah. I
Oh,
don't
Courtney,
Courtney
Bryant.
Right.
Yeah, she was
right. I
unbelievable.
can't remember her name. Yeah, she was
She'll be
fantastic.
national
I am
in about
telling
5
you, I
years.
remember I had her on the podcast.
And I remember you saying, I'm going to give you credit before you say it.
What's that?
I think you told her you're not going to be in St. Louis long. You're going to.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to
But I
get
mean,
a job.
but anybody, you don't have to know the business to know that.
Yeah, the first time I saw her, I said, I want to be her agent.
Oh, my
I want to
God.
quit and be
and
her agent.
I heard that the agency she was with, and I assume she still is Ken Lindner, which, is one of the best. I knew that coming out of Missouri, but they rarely at the time, I don't know what the situation is now,
Mm-hmm.
it was mainly female representation.
Yeah.
And the best of the best were represented by Ken Lindner and Associates out of Beverly Hills. But I mean, it's one thing to be attractive. Plenty of attractive people in the world. Look at this studio.
Look at us.
Thank
Yeah.
you. God, I hope that didn't come off wrong.
She was good at what she did.
But she was so good at what she did.
Oh, yeah.
She was brilliant as well. I think she had worked in Israel, like during high school, like covering Israeli politics in high school. Did she go to Pepperdine, maybe?
Something, I think so. Yeah.
She just
USC,
she's so sharp.
Yeah.
Also had a really down-to-earth, I don't know.
15,000 Instagram followers, too, already.
Yeah.
For her. For that
Yeah,
level.
but she isn't going to need to do that crap.
No.
She's still in
gonna be
Atlanta?
able to-
But coming out of Channel 4, she had an offer to go to the ABC Network to be an anchor
Right.
for their
But it was
overnight show.
it was overnight.
And it didn't pay as much as the local show in Atlanta.
Right. Yeah, there's some misnomers about the national gigs sometimes. Certainly, though, national gigs can pay a lot. Don't get me wrong, of course. But, yeah, I remember talking to her about that. God, yeah, that was about... met her in 2018, because I remember it was Belle Reeve, PGA Championship. And whenever, I just remember saying to Anna Marie, I don't even know why the hell we were watching that stuff, but I saw 10 seconds, I go, well, there's somebody who is going to... But then in getting to know her, she was on the podcast a few times. Like, she's not just attractive; she's got a lot of depth to both her intelligence and also the presentation.
We had another one like that earlier named Jane Skinner. You remember Jane Skinner?
And didn't she marry Roger Goodell?
She did. I mean, she was so beautiful on the air, you couldn't even listen to what she was saying. All you could do is just look and drool at this.
But didn't
girl.
Courtney, if I'm not mistaken,
But she made it to the network too with one of the Fox.
before she came to St. Louis, I forgot where she was working. Didn't she do a segment with a bunch of nudists, and she actually got naked? I think I remember reading
This was you're talking about Sharon Gray. Sharon Gray?
Linda Gray was Ricky Schroeder's mom on Silver Spoons.
Yeah. This is a different anchor.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember people's
remember
names
one of
now
them.
that I worked with for 5 or 6 years. God, this aging thing
One
is
of them
really
before
bad.
they came here did a segment where she got naked.
That was her last name was Gray. Yeah, and she'd worked in Cleveland.
She was also beautiful.
Yeah.
No, I didn't find the video.
Oh gosh.
Oh. You're answering questions before they come
They're
in?
coming in, yeah.
Paul Goodlow has been on the Weather Channel for years. Matt Weiner and Trey Wingo have had great national careers.
Yeah, true.
618.
Yeah.
I just think one of the things that's a misnomer oftentimes, and it speaks to what you're talking about with Courtney, with the thing with ABC, is that if you go to one of the national things, it means you're making more than you could locally. And you certainly can, but it's not an automatic thing.
Yeah.
Because, again, if you have 200 people, or probably more, who want the job, and it's one position, and that person says, well, I need 25% more than you're offering, or their agent does, and they go, we're not going to do that. We've got this earmarked for this salary. So if we can't get them, screw it. It's not going to impact our bottom line that much to go with the second person, and they're going to accept that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guy who took the job that I turned down at SNY had been at ESPN for like 7 years and took less than what I turned down. And so I think the thing, and I don't think it goes on much anymore because local TV isn't what it was 20, 25 years ago. It's certainly 40 years ago, and the dollars that were in, people say, oh, that person never got out of St. Louis. Well, oftentimes people are making more money in St. Louis than if they went to New York or L.A. because the cost of living adjustment, or just because there isn't much money relative to what people assume.
And none of it pays what it used to.
Absolutely.
Well, when Matt Lauer got canned at the Today Show, they said he was making $29 million a year. Well, I don't think the people at Today Show make anything close to that now.
No.
And there used to be several news anchors in St. Louis, news anchors that were making $500,000 a year. So, but I don't think there's anybody making that anymore.
Tim, you're right. Linda Gray was smoking in Silver Spoons. You ever watch Silver Spoons? They had that train that went through the living room. I'm not talking about the Keisha Gray train. I'm talking about just like Ricky Schroeder would just drive through on a train in the living room.
I just got a text. That girl I was trying to think of was Sharon Reed.
Somebody just texted that in,
Sharon
literally at the same time. Hyman the Roth.
My memory is so horrific.
How'd you guys all forget Stu Clytenic? That's in Professor.
Oh, he would reach out at us. It's like you were watching a 3D movie where his arms would come right into your home. Yeah.
You ever try that when you're angry?
I didn't. I never reached out at the camera. I probably should have. It would help my career.
Let's see. We got mentality, and that means if you are feeling sluggish, you're dealing with anxiety, maybe you're putting on weight, but you're not putting on muscle like you used to, well then, friends, what you need to do is go to lowtusa.com. Mentality, a local healthcare provider here in the St. Louis area. I went to Mentality, and I can tell you how easy it was to get tested. Super easy, as a matter of fact. I was in and out within 15, 20 minutes. Staff super friendly. A lot of TMA listeners have gone and gotten tested and find out what their testosterone situation is. And even if you've been tested for testosterone before, the thing is they may not test your free testosterone, and that is such a big factor in how you are feeling and what you can do with testosterone treatment. Go online, lowtusa.com. It's Mentality at lowtusa.com. Ladies and gentlemen, we are fast approaching balloon party. How do you... Jackson, is the 101 ESPN YouTube tensions resolved?
Not to my knowledge. I would assume it's going to take a little bit, just because of how slow.
I was really enjoying that YouTube situation.
Were you?
Yeah, I was. Because the YouTube chat where the TMA listeners would come in with the unsuspecting 101 listeners and get to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they got along and maybe they didn't. Oftentimes it was more of the latter than the former, but still, it was fun to watch. Yeah. Well, we're going to find out over here in the Design Air Heating and Cooling Email of the Day! Woo! JV golf coach with a commanding 3-goal lead. Let's see how things play out here today. It was to the point where I was just sick of hearing it. That Greg Evigan is so hot.
BJ and the Bear? He was the star of BJ and the Bear.
Right.
Yeah.
I was one more time away from dumping my girlfriend Rita. I wasn't even jealous, but when I watched BJ and the Bear, I was staring at that Claude Akins hard. Speaking of hard, so is Rita's big brother Jimmy. I remember this one Friday I was over and Rita fell asleep early. And that is when Jimmy made his move on me. He was like, you be BJ McKay and I'll be Sheriff Lobo, and then I'll handcuff you to the... And he didn't get to finish the sentence when Rita woke up. And that is the story of the time I gave my girlfriend Rita's dad a handy behind the couch while we watched television.
Come on.
It's from Anita, and then her last name is Head.
Anita Head. She's new.
Here comes the creep. Dee-da-dee-dee. Here comes the creep. Dee-da-dee-dee.
Is that it, or was it Release the Creep? Which one were we going to do?
Release
it was Release the
Unleash.
Creep.
Unleash
the Creep.
He's Ken Strode. Oh, I didn't see you there, and Young. Really special second hour when Ken, the crockpot possum, bragged about posting some pot roast pics on the gram, wherein it looked more like tiramisu than anything edible. Sure, nobody actually asked for said photos, but we don't see his DMs, idiots.
Nobody asked for your emails either.
No.
Any hoodles, here's a pic of my dad burgers made from the charter mains of one of my pretties. Thanks, and maybe stay tuned. That's from #1 Asian intern Brian Henson, a.k.a. ASMR Porkaloin. Sign up for my YouTube page, tickle the bell for notifications, and tag old Kenny Strode and your favorite pot roast pics on Instagram to be entered to win a no expenses paid ditch carp supper with Ken Iggy Strode. Doug Brian Henson.
Brian Henson.
It was fun to watch you guys stumble your way around the truth. Let's keep this on the down low, by which I mean you can safely broadcast it over your HD2 airwaves. The Lee totem poles are essentially erotic and strategic breadcrumbs placed exactly 1 mile apart all along Grant's Trail that will lead to the land where you can swing a dead cat without hitting a house with an upside-down pineapple front porch display. It is a much better system than the old days, when there used to be a gaggle of frumpy middle-aged fats loitering in the grocery store for an actual woman to walk down the aisle with pineapple in her cart so we can all ask her to see, so how's the soup, or what do you think of this pot roast, kiddo? And then we would flat get after it. I usually wore a Chachi-style bandana on my thigh and my jumbo horse polo to set myself apart. But if I post pictures of my porkaloin, it is my gift to meet the demands of the people. Not like anyone else posting food who are so absurd to think they are influencers. Some Shooter McGavin, the vice president of the Sunset Hills White Landscape Rocks.
Shooter McGavin, VP, Sunset Hills, Landscape Rocks.
I'll give you a new idea for your St. Gabe's picnic next year.
Oh, thank you.
Play Chuck-a-Luck and win a pork a steak.
Wow, Doug, things are happening.
Pork-a-loin.
Pork-a-loin on
Cantaloupe,
Chuck-a-Luck.
drink a wits. Morning, guys. PLTDing yesterday's show. How come your entire producing staff who claims to hate Barstool knows every coming and going and going and coming that happens over at Barstool, and hate follows every Barstool personality across every platform and then breaks it down in extreme detail on the show? Anyways, how about this? Saw a photo of Portnoy, Manning, and Tom Brady. Could have commented, but I didn't. I rest my case. Thanks. That's from Ellen Foley's Porkaloin, Nova Scotian ham photographer. Not humble brag. I got friends nobody knows.
Ellen Foley has friends nobody knows.
I follow Portnoy and Riggs. Those are the only two I follow, I believe.
Jersey Jerry is the best.
Who's Jersey Jerry?
My spirit animal.
Oh, what's his deal? He doesn't like Mizzou football.
No, I just think the only one on Barstool I find significantly just super hilarious.
Who's the guy you argue with who likes the Cubs?
Oh, Dom? That dude's a douche, man.
No!
Dude's an absolute fraud.
Why?
Because he talks a bunch of crap that he can't back up, and he kind of tweets out about Sammy Sosa when he's in a bind.
Still on the Sammy Sosa thing?
Yeah, that's when you know you're digging deep.
Have you seen pictures of Sammy Sosa lately?
Yeah,
you
he
would
doesn't
never
even
know
look
who it
human.
was. You would never know who it was.
Yeah, that Dom Frederick.
I remember where I was when Ozzy got his 2,500th hit. I was at 7-Eleven on Bennington arguing with the clerk, trying to explain that these $2 bills and Sacagawea dollars were legal tender. What's that? Ozzy retired with 2,460 career hits? Okay, well, maybe I'm thinking of his Hall of Fame speech. You know I'm going into Hall of Fame. Was chatting with Timmy Tyler last night about it. Working on material for my comedy roast where I insult the audience and imply that I've slept with many of them. When I had kids, I had to settle down and stop going to so many concerts, and I was presented with the following options to fill my time. Start smoking meats, get really into bourbon, start playing golf every week, but I declined those three and chose to invest my time editing mashups and sods. How about that old guy reading the gay erotica in Congress under the guise of protecting the children? Now I learned from Always Sunny in Philadelphia that kids aren't bopping anymore. They're banging each other and doing meth before they hit grade school. Kidding aside, most of today's kids are addicted to screens and social media and have a virtually unlimited supply of porn at their fingertips, not to mention the filth that's broadcast on these HD2 airwaves. But these olds getting all hot and bothered because a kid might read a gay book in the library? Reading is fundamental. Okay, gotta go now. Timmy Tyler is DMing me, asking me to post a picture of my porkaloin. Doug, that's Buck Swope. And that's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling
Swope.
email of the day. What you got?
I'm going to go with Ellen Foley, who has friends nobody knows.
Was that the one before Swope?
A couple before Swope.
Who was before Swope?
Yeah, that was her.
Yeah, it was Ellen Foley.
Ellen Foley.
Ellen Foley
No!
is shipped.
That was her.
The Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Doug, we're going to win now because we're heading down the hallway to deal with it.
Come and get your whooping.
They are not happy.
With what?
I don't know.
The Redbirds just got a nice little
Hey,
W.
Torrey Krug?
Yeah, boy. Gonna miss all training camp.
Maybe that was a wink, wink, nudge, nudge situation. I don't know.
He's pretty bad on the ice, so I don't really know what matters.
Yeah, you can manipulate the old LTIR. Hell, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Either way, what is this? It's a wide berth Wednesday? Is that what I've been told?
And apparently you got nothing. You got to think of something between here before you bop down to that studio. You better come up with a topic. And it absolutely cannot be, will the NBA work in St. Louis?
Just read that gay book that you read at the beginning of the show.
I don't know how well that would play there.
Probably not well.
Yeah, I think we'll holster that one for Friday's program after Gabe joins us to talk Missouri K-State.
We'll bump Gabe for it.
Yeah, we'll bump the Colonel. Time for us to shut it down. Balloon Party's up next on 101 ESPN. John Hewlett's in here with the sound story at 11 o'clock. There's your captain's log for the Plowhawk, for Action Jacks, for Kenneth Eggy Strode, from Everett Kevin, for Douglas Vaughn. Tim McKernan, this has been the Brian Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with